Message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
I'm Jennifer Garner. You may know me from my other job, but I'm a business owner too. Here at Once Upon a Farm, we chose the Capital One Venture X business card because it makes everything we do even more rewarding. With no preset spending limit, our purchasing power adapts to meet our business needs. And unlimited double miles on every purchase means we earn more too. And when we travel, we get access to over 1,000 airport lounges. The Capital One Venture X business card. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/VentureXBusiness.
Future health weight loss.
Want Ozempic but can't afford thousands a month? You need Wegovy for $199 from Future Health, the only FDA-approved GLP-1 for weight loss at the lowest price yet. Save hundreds on authentic, safe, effective Wegovy pre-dosed injection pens for limited time. No insurance needed, no tricky syringes, just faster weight loss. Get this limited-time deal at futurehealth.com today for the best price on the market. These meds eliminate hunger and cravings while Future Health handles the rest. Easy. Join those losing 10 pounds their first month. Plus, you don't have to drive to a doctor's office. It's all online via telehealth with licensed clinicians in your area. Go to futurehealth.com to see if you qualify and start losing weight this week. Visit futurehealth.com. Future without the E.
Future health weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
People are loving what's happening now at IDC. Free financing till the year 2030. That's right. Now for a limited time, you can get the lowest finance rates in America. 0% for 5 whole years on just about every piece of jewelry in our showroom. So you can get that $8,000 engagement ring and pay just $134 a month. Or that $4,000 pair of diamond stud earrings, just $67 a month. International Diamond Center makes it happen with this incredible limited time offer. Just pick any item and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, designer jewelry, colored gemstones, even certified diamonds are included. Whether your budget is $2,000 or $200,000, this is the smartest way to buy. Hurry in to take advantage of this once-a-year event. 0% financing rates till 2030, store-wide, only at International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com. On approved credit.
Your water may not be safe. Forever chemicals that stay in the body for years have been found in drinking water. Call Morgan & Morgan at 1-800-555-6666 or visit forthepeople.com/PFAS. Offices Orlando and throughout Florida.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when a professional practice or a small business is involved and, of course, on the line. At Cordell & Cordell, we know the years of work that you've invested and what's at stake. For over 35 years, we've helped guide doctors, lawyers, and business owners through the complex process to protect their businesses that they've spent their lives building. Call Cordell & Cordell today because your business is more than a job, it's your legacy.
Orlando, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Thursday, June 12th, 2025. Lots to get to today. From the India airplane crash to ICE protests continue to roll out across the country. And is Israel about to nuke Iran or what? Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Sabrina is out. Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
Josh is with us.
What?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show. All you have to do is send us what we call a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Thursday?
Good. But concerned.
Why? Why are you concerned?
About tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a little worried about that, too. Yeah, I keep forgetting it's 420. In a show 420 for secret shows. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. And then they were like, hey, let's do something 420 related for secret shows.
Marijuanas.
Yeah, and then it's like, now the idea is really scaring me because I can't do a show like that, but something's going down tonight. We'll tell you a little bit about
Sean.
that.
Second half Sean.
I just gonna
Second half Sean.
Staring at the lights in the studio.
What does Discord think about it?
All right, folks, here we go. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great big wide world of ours. And we go to India, everybody. And this is right after this India airplane crash has taken place. So who knows what's real, who knows what's fake, but this is believed to be real, at least at this point in time. Two dudes from England had just finished their big trip to India. They were all excited to come back home. In fact, I hear a lot of people who go to India have this same level of excitement when they're returning home. Doesn't say a lot for India, but does say a lot for being home. And these two guys are like, all right, we're about to get on our flight back. Here goes nothing. This was the flight that just crashed. All right, here they are.
We are at the airport, just boarding. Goodbye, India.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
10-hour flight back to England.
Uh-oh.
Going back happily calm.
Happily calm. Going back to England. And unfortunately, if you're looking at the headlines this morning, you know, this plane crashed. It legitimately did. It was a 787 Dreamliner.
There were some survivors, though. I just saw on the way up the elevator.
So crazy. I got the guy in a second. They said there was one that I saw. Maybe there's more now. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing these two guys' faces. So it might not be them that ends up making it any further along here. But those two guys legitimately were like, hey, we're about to hop on this flight. Here goes nothing. That flight takes off. I'll tell you what went wrong here in a second, but it didn't take very long. Coming in. I think it had just taken off. I'll give you the details in a second. And then right as it gets right over the horizon, big fireball.
My God. It's like a
insane
movie.
Yeah, it looks like a Die Hard movie or something. This huge fireball of this plane that pops up. And you go, how on earth did anybody survive that? How on earth did somebody walk out of this? And the way they survived is just crazy. Again, details on that in just a second. Another angle for those of you watching on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie of this flight. It's Air India Flight 171. There was at least 250 people or so, 240 people plus on board. The plane had just taken off, I guess, because I can see it. Just taken off, and then I think it must have tried to come back down. I'm waiting. I haven't seen this video just yet, but there was just a massive fireball that came out of this. All right, there it is, like taking off. That's when I think when I'm on the plane, I'm like, wheels up, baby. We are going. We are moving. However, I hate to hit you with this, but almost every plane crash happens when a plane is landing or taking off. That is how it works. So
is that like the aviation version of most accidents happen within 5 miles of the home?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. And so it tried to take off, this 787, and then, oh, boy, right back down and smashed in to the ground. Again, huge fireball coming up on this thing. It's kind of crazy.
Is it just the video we're watching, or does it look like it's going kind of slow? This looks slow
It does look slow. I'm not sure if they slowed it down, but it does indeed look slow. It's like very slowly trying to get up off the ground, and then it starts to come down, and then boom, the huge explosion that you can see. I'll bring that back to that explosion one last time because it's stunning to me. Stunning that anybody was able to survive this with a fireball probably 15 feet tall or 15 stories tall, maybe.
Man. There's always stories like this. Bootsy says there's a travel vlogger I follow that was supposed to be on that flight but had visa troubles.
Jesus.
Could you imagine how pissed off you would be having the visa troubles, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, shoot.
Like,
greatest accident ever. Yeah.
India Customs, I am so sorry I yelled at you.
This was an Air India passenger plane bound for London, more than 240 people on board. And they're looking into exactly what went down. Here's the first piece of news we have coming out of this. We got lots to get to today, but we'll just go over this because it's the big breaking news. The crew of Air India flight A1 or AI-171 gave a mayday call to the air traffic control immediately after takeoff, but gave no response after that to calls made by air traffic control to the aircraft. It's according to the folks looking into this so far. So there was like a mayday and then nothing else. Another person who always talks about these sort of airline incidents says, the engine failed immediately after taking off, landing gear stuck. And there are several other discrepancies that don't make sense. Somebody in Air India messed up very badly. Planes don't crash like this after takeoff. There was some serious miscalculation that has taken place, says this particular person. Well, let's talk about the dude.
Didn't walk around the plane. He didn't do the walk around.
Yeah, you got to tap on the engine, kick the wheels.
They weren't talking to each other in the cockpit, and it was awkward.
God. It could be the rehearsal, Nathan Fielder all over again. You're right, Josh. But we know somehow, some way. Listen to this unbelievable story. Vishwash Kumar Ramesh. Oh.
Nailed it.
Sound like a record in backwards. Vishwash Kumar
over the Mumbai is
Ramesh, yeah, it didn't happen. A British national is the only known survivor of Air India Flight 171. Here's this quote. 30 seconds after takeoff, there was a loud noise, and then the plane crashed. It all happened so quickly. When I got up, there were bodies all around me. I'm not going to show you this because it's crazy and gross and vile, but there is footage of people where the plane crashed. Like, it crashed into this facility that was holding doctors. There were, like, doctors that were staying there. And I think they called it, like, a hostel for doctors, something like that is the language they use. Several of the doctors in that building
it's called a doctor dorm.
The doctor dorm essentially was hit by this plane that crashed, and some of the doctors ended up dying, and that's kind of up in the air right now, unlike the plane. But
wow,
I didn't mean. I just said it, so I had to go with it. So that is one thing that people are looking at. But the folks ran out onto the street and started recording. And I kid you not, the only thing I'll tell you is I see like all these people like crowded around each other, right, on the streets in India. And they're starting to like pull away from the camera so I can see what's going on. And they all have their cameras out, and there's a person's head on the ground. Just a head, nothing else. Just a person's head on the ground, and they all have their cameras out, like recording whatever's going on. As they're doing this, they see a dude pop out. They said he jumped out of the emergency exit. He's got blood on him. It's so weird. They're following this guy around. He's like, yeah. He's got a phone in his hand. He's got blood all over his shirt and stuff. And they're just following this dude around. I mean, I'm sure he's shell-shocked. I think everybody's trying to ask him questions like, what's going on? What happened? As he's trying to get to this ambulance, and somehow this guy, as a miracle here, ended up surviving the crash. So absolutely insane and pretty wild to see, and a bit scary for people like me who aren't fond of flying in planes. Just not good.
Well, just think about that on your next trip to India.
Yeah, I mean, I love two things. Indian people and Indian food. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I hate two things.
Plenty of both in England, where those
That's
guys
true.
were flying back to.
Here I can get them in certain neighborhoods.
It's weird because you said when we played the first video that something about it. Why did they seem so happy to be going home?
Mm-hmm.
But I think like some of the places that have been the most fun, my experience at the airport is like, okay, that was enough. That was like a Vegas or definitely Nashville, where we were so spent that final day where we had a late flight that Ashley looked into what would it cost to get the room for one more just to nap all day.
I have done that. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. So you're saying it's not necessarily a judgment on the country that you're leaving.
No,
When
they
you're at the
could
airport.
have raged.
Yeah. And sometimes you're just toast. It's been a long, long day, and you're just not feeling it anymore. But we want to hear from you today. Send your dispatches. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. We still got these protests, ICE riots, all these different things that are going on in different cities across the country. A lot of you are chiming in on that, so we'll hit on that at some point in time here, of course. Also, we've got this. Here's an email coming in from Wicked Rip. Okay, Wicked Rip, what do you got for us? I love this. Woke up this morning, friends. This is from me, not the emailer, all right? I woke up this morning and I said, yesterday was ridiculous. My toner was just barely happening. I was trying to read you the stories in front of me. I can't do it. I can't. They're faded. And I shook the toner. I tried to get some more life out of it. I ordered one last night and I got it delivered here this morning, like 6 a.m. or something. And I go, thank God, toner's going to be here so I can speak clearly and get the words out because I can read them off the paper. And I put the toner in and I go, you know what? It's a new one. I better shake it up a little bit. I shake it twice, put the toner in the printer, and now
if you shake it more than twice,
everything looks like this. Everything is
looks good.
It's the opposite of what I was dealing with yesterday. Now everything's just completely covered
in
toner.
Is that both sides?
Yes, it's a disaster, but it's better than not being able to read it. So I think we're
Did you
locked
unplug
in.
it and plug it back in?
I tried, yeah. It didn't do anything for me. I slap it every once in a while. I do all the requisite things you might do.
Is there not like a wipey that you can get in there and kind of...
I'll try. I'll Google it, see that I got a lot going on. But
I'm sure that printer cleaning wasn't top of the list of things you wanted to do.
It's on the bottom.
This afternoon, but it seems to me like, you're wasting a lot of toner.
You think so? No, look. I mean, this one's clear. It's just this side.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a difference. One side's black, one side's not. We might have a bit of a leak going on here. Wicked Rip says to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Let me start by saying I listen every day to your shows. Well,
thank you, Wicked Rip.
Thank you very much. Love you guys. The thing that has bothered me, I keep looking at the stories of L.A., quote unquote, burning to the ground from riots. That doesn't seem to be the case. I don't know where you're getting burning to the ground from. There were like car fires. There was like some minor arson type stuff that was going on. But I don't believe I've ever said like burning to the ground other than just in like an obvious over the top fashion.
Most people that say that, you're not the only one, and it's just you're being facetious. It's just a turn of phrase.
Yeah, like they're burning the place to the ground. I don't mean that there are no buildings left in Los Angeles, if that's something that's confusing you. Wicked Rip says, that doesn't seem to be the case. I have several friends and family in the L.A. area. Plus, I posted a video asking people what's going on. Everybody from L.A. says the same thing. It was peaceful until the police came. Isn't every protest peaceful until the police come? Until the police, they're like, well, everything was peaceful until the police showed up, and then everything spiraled out of control. No. Look, this is like an LA thing. I saw this compilation. I'll play it at some point today of all these women with TikTok accounts in Los Angeles because they don't regulate who can get those and who can't. And everybody with a TikTok account
Trump's
and a vagina.
America.
In Los Angeles is making a video, and they're like, nothing was violent until the National Guard got here. And you're like, you're expecting everybody to not have video. There's video from the jump of people going nuts at these protests and from violence breaking out and from when ICE was trying to do a sweep or DHS was trying to do a sweep at some place with a judicial warrant, they said. That people coming in and attacking their vehicles. It's like, it's a LA thing to do. It's just like they did in Seattle and Portland and all these other places where you go, wow, it's really, you got riots there. You got people looting and ruining these people's stores and stuff. And the people who live there who are aligned with the protesters will be like, I don't know. I don't see anything out there. Everything's fine. It's just not true, man. It wasn't peaceful until the police came. They were getting out of control over and over and over. The only way you could say that is like, if you consider all law enforcement police, and the fact that they confronted law enforcement to start the whole thing means that the police were there before the violence happened. But that's kind of chicken and egg, isn't it? Over and over, I get the same comment. I have over 100 comments. The only people that say it's burning to the ground are the news people and not from Los Angeles. So again, love you guys, but your narrative seems to be incorrect. My narrative is that these protests are primed and ready for people to take things beyond peaceful protests. They are primed and ready for people to take action against the police or anybody else they think is like connected to ICE, because they think they are morally right and a moral wrong is taking place by people getting ejected from this country. And it's just true. I mean, just you can watch the videos everywhere. It is what it is. Everybody wants to reinvent history afterwards. I'm not going to do that. But all right, there you go. Thank you for the email. Disagree with your LA friends who are on Facebook. Now, I do agree that if you have a house in Brentwood, or, you got a place up in the hills, or you're not right in the area of the courthouse or the immigration facilities where this is kind of centered around, it's super easy for you to be like, I haven't seen anything going on here. I haven't seen any chaos at all. I've been watching Netflix and my internet hasn't cut off one time. And you're like, okay, yeah, that's true, but it doesn't mean that there's not major problems here. And I don't think you've seen anything yet. I think this weekend's going to be wild. I think that's where we're going to get things real wild this weekend.
Things are beautiful inside.
Inside it's nice and comfy, but let's see what it looks like when we got these protests kicking up this weekend. I want to keep eyes on that. All right, we have so many things to go over, and we shall do that. But when we come back, I want to talk about an airline had a major problem, and it wasn't India Air this time. This is a different problem altogether. And I feel like one of us may have taken this airline before. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's just chaos, and it's super interesting. And I want to get into what happened here to a whole lot of people who got screwed over. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
The right lane's blocked on State Road 434, eastbound near I-4. Keep an eye out for road rangers clearing up an accident on State Road 408 westbound near Goldenrod Road there. Traffic's piling up at the Ramp Junction where Florida's Turnpike and the Beach Line meet. And if I-4 is a part of your commute, traffic's slowing down between Osceola Parkway and the Beach Line there.
Stay connected and stay productive with Rapid Radios. Business owners.
Now let's do a 12 here, then we do an 8 after.
Perfect. Communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push to talk, convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keep it connected. Never. Hey, let's go back. Look alive, cameraman. Come on. Come on. Keep an eye on things, please. How are we doing? How are we doing on a Thursday, everybody? Hello to Bootsy, Yuckers, Arnott, Crazy Drunk Cat Lady, Known Badger, Michael, the Step P, SKB, Vegas Amy. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, Wasson, dye your hair blue fast? What's that going to get me? Why am I dyeing my hair blue? Am I mixing it with the protesters? Do I need a septum ring? Sassy Susan says rain won't stop me. Susan, are you going to protest this weekend? If so, where are you? I mean, I'm not trying to like hook up or anything. I'm just saying, like, what city are you in? I'm not trying to protest with you. Hello, Suksvan Fogsa. Hello from Rochester. Hey, how are you? Did you have a chance to send out gifted subs and Fritz on the Street magnets yet? Yes. As a matter of fact, I sent all of those out. Every single one of them except for like, I think one. So if you gifted subs or did anything like that, you should get it in the next, you should get it this week if you don't email me because they were all sent. All right, chat. I'm just imagining you're world travelers. You seem that way to me. You seem like world travelers. Has anybody ever been on Silver Airlines? Silver Airlines. Who's been on Silver Airlines? Let me know in the chat. Silver Airways. Silver Airways might be the official name. And if you don't know who they are, I think the biggest thing they do is from Florida's East Coast to the Bahamas over and over and over again. That's what they do. Silver Airways. Never heard of them? Wait till you hear what happened with this airline when we come back. Is Loveless out of a job? I don't know. Loveless is always out there somewhere. He listens to the show apparently sometimes. So, Loveless, if you're out there, hello. AJ says, no, never been a passenger, but you talked about that airline on the show before. We have, because it was always a nightmare. Like, if we got on one of the private planes and flew over to the Bahamas, it was nice. If we especially got on the one that's like a small private jet, that was beautiful. If we went with Loveless, it was like he was pedaling as the plane was up. And it took 2 hours to get to the Bahamas, which was crazy from Florida. But Silver Airways was always complained about because it was like incredibly turbulent and bumpy all the time for no reason. It was bad. 3 minutes and we're coming back, everybody. Hang on. Need some water. Okay, everybody, and watch out, by the way. I mean, unless you're into this kind of thing. Some of you are like me, you'll watch it. But watch out for this footage, especially on Twitter, X, whatever. If you see the footage of the Air India crash, there's a lot of stuff that's like, you're not going to forget it. It's going to stick with you. It's really, really crazy. Wow, a bad flight to the Bahamas. How do people ever emotionally recover from that? Is there a fundraiser for the survivors? I mean, I know it seems nice, but I still don't want a bad flight anywhere. And I know it seems a little insane considering the Air India thing to complain about this, but it's worth it. I regret watching it on Reddit, not safe for life. Yeah, I mean, the one that I saw, like I told you, it was just like this crew all around. You can't see anything because it's like people's backs blocking the camera. And then the moment they clear out, you see a bunch of people with their cameras down at the ground and they're like videoing, and there's just one person's head still kind of rolling a little bit on the ground. And you go, okay. So saddening to see or hear that so many lives have been lost. Yeah, I mean, especially they're going to find out, like, was this preventable? It would be absolutely wild if this was something like in the rehearsal with Nathan Fielder, if this was a pilot error and the co-pilot could have said something and stepped up, which if you don't know, that's the whole premise of the show, The Rehearsal Season 2. would be interesting timing in the worst kind of way. Okay, folks, we're coming back. Show's live. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go.
69 407 337 5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit, call now 407 337 5569.
The Medal of Honor is the highest military decoration in the United States. Recipients have done the improbable.
This medal is for the man who went down that day.
On Medal of Honor, stories of courage, you'll hear about these heroes and what their stories tell us about the nature of bravery. Listen to Medal of Honor on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Medal of Honor and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Discover the new Buick SUVs in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Filling in the gaps between the New York Times and World Star. This is
You can learn more about the show, and you're always welcome here. Whatever your opinion is, give it to us. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Send us a video or audio dispatch. You can record yours right now on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. We're just happy that Josh is joining us today, honest to God. I mean,
I know it.
When I see that Switch 2 has been released, and I know that he's a video game guy, and I'm thinking, I've never seen Josh playing a Switch, but
I can't afford that new one.
Oh, is it too expensive? What is this
you
thing?
know, what with the tariffs and all.
Oh, what is it brand new for the new Switch that everybody's trying to get?
I thought it was like $450 or something.
Nailed it.
Buddy, for $450, and all for what? So people could go play the Mario Kart game?
Mario Kart World, sir.
I think that if you want the Mario Kart game to come with it, it's $499. Which,
really?
Which only really saves you, I think, $10 on the game.
Yeah,
games are around $60.
Not much of a bundle, I would say.
Look, I'm not a video game guy. Josh, you may know about this. Could I go to a regular ass store right now and say, hello, regular ass store, I would like one Switch 2. And would they be able to give me one, or are they gone?
You want a Switch 2? We're a regular ass store, sir.
I'd say, excuse me, regular ass store people. Do
like,
you
sir,
have
this
one
is a
in
Publix.
stock? Are they still can I get one on Amazon?
I don't know. I haven't really looked. I'm looking at Target's website now, and it's showing out of stock. So
Friday after the show last week, for the first time in I can't even count, set foot in a Best Buy.
What were you doing there, man?
The old way.
I was going to purchase a television. But on my way in, they still had some of the decoration that we saw last week for the release of the Switch 2 when the news cameras went out to the Best Buy, and there were kids camping overnight, even though I don't believe they opened at midnight. I think they still opened at 8. So it was a
weird,
nice long camping trip for these kids, for these nerdos.
The only camping they'll ever do is outside of a department store waiting for a video console, though.
And
that's it.
And so as I walked in, I thought this sign could have been a little more visible. Like it was in the what do you call the space between two doors?
Door frame.
Door wall. No. Not
it's a door wall.
horizontally.
Right, it's the door wall.
Two doorways. You know when you go in and you go through the first automated doors, and then you go through the second one?
Oh, yes, the foyer.
All right. In the foyer, they had a sign that said, "We are out of Switch 2s. We are sold out of the Switch 2."
Oh, they wanted to stop you before you got all the way into the store. Then.
Well, if I were there for a Switch 2 and I walked in and I didn't see the sign until the foyer, I would have been like, couldn't you just drag that thing outside so I could see it as I drive up and then flip a Yui and go somewhere else?
All right. Do I want to even... Do I want to get one of these things? I'm trying to see here. All right, this is Mario Kart. This is the draw, Josh?
Yeah, because it's open world Mario Kart.
Oh, you could like GTA it?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I can't see myself sitting on the couch with a remote playing this stuff. I don't know.
It looks cool. They have a new game mode where you can, like you have the cups in Mario Kart where it's like 4 or 5 races in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But you have loading
like the
times.
Grand Prix.
Yeah, you have loading times in between. Instead of that, you drive across the map from racetrack to racetrack for all your races.
Oh,
so there's
okay.
like little races in between.
All right. Now I'm up to date. Now we know. Josh is a video game guy around here. What are you playing, by the way, right now?
Oblivion Remastered.
Thank God he's playing Oblivion Remastered.
That's
I've been waiting
saying.
the whole time. I did see a video game that's upcoming, and then I'll get out of this.
I'm
into
playing
some
Last of Us 3.
Oh,
it's not out. We'll get into some news here in a second here, but I just wanted to ask this. I saw a video game trailer, Josh, and whatever it was like you had your whole medieval army, and you're on top of this hill, and everybody's
Age
like on
of
horseback.
Empires.
It's something like that, and then you're like, charge! And all your people start like charging down the hill like Game of Thrones or something. And
Sounds cool.
The other people are on the other end with all their like their swords and their horses, and I go, I kind of want to play that. I would like to play hooky from work.
You remember what it was called?
No, I don't know. I'll try to find it. It was I was watching somebody on Twitch who was watching the video game award show. I said something like that. And they showed a trailer for a video game that looked crazy. But I have bad news. For those of you who like to fly and don't want to have any problems, Air India is big enough of a problem this week for those folks who might be going on a 787 anytime soon. But Silver Airways, which some of you have heard of, it had a hub in Fort Lauderdale, would go to the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, and various airports in the Caribbean. And this place was very small but well known for people who just did these little like puddle jumper flights and stuff. And they recently announced that they declared bankruptcy, but they were continuing on. And all of a sudden, this weekend, they said, hey, don't go to the airport. Don't come here. You're not flying. It's not happening. Everybody turn around.
I think, was it Silver that posted it on Instagram? Or was it somebody, like a travel blogger or something that saw the thing and made like some sort of post that went viral? Because I heard about the don't come to the airport part.
I don't know. Hang on. Let me see if I could find what you're talking about. There was a lot of people who were ready for little vacations and stuff. And when they went to go, Silver Airways was completely done, just totally shut down. There are usually planes about this size. For those of you who are watching, it's a small passenger plane.
That's not Silver.
It's not pink. Silver, which so really big missed opportunity. This one's pink and it's like a prop plane, but it's a larger prop plane. That's one of the ones that they have grounded as a result of this.
I think if I'm not mistaken, that there were a handful of people who attended Moses' wedding that flew Silver, whereas we did not. We were on a different kind of deal.
Yeah, they did. And I can tell you, I have probably talked to, for those of you who've never heard of Silver Airways, I've probably talked to a dozen people who have flown on Silver Airways, and every one of them hated it. Yeah. Every single one of them was like, it was a nightmare. Never coming back.
It was all the people that attended Moses' wedding that took Silver. They're
right.
Did you guys fly Silver? Because our flight was awful.
I don't know if this is what you were talking about, C-Lane, but this is not fun. Silver Airlines on the board at the airport, all canceled. All just canceled territory down the line, going to all sorts of different cities all over the place. So it's been a bit of a nightmare.
And are those people getting refunds?
Sure. Wait. Just hold your hand out, and eventually they'll get to you, right?
Because I know that there was no agreement with any other airlines. Like there were no other airlines, I think, stepping up to go like, yeah, we're partners with Silver. You can rebook with us. Yeah. I think they were just SOL.
No, it's like Silver Airways had no friends in the airline industry, so when they shut down, all the other airlines were like, screw you, we're not assisting, we're not going to make this better in any way for you. Just kind of brutal overall. Also, we see this sticking in the state of Florida with Silver Airways going out of business before we move around the country. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, is chiming in with all these protests ramping up this weekend. All these ICE protests, some of them that have been violent and spun out of control in cities like Los Angeles. Some of them that have been, I don't know, pretty damn peaceful in places like Chicago for the most part. But I think this weekend is going to be when things get wild. And as all of this goes down, the governor of the state of Florida is reminding people you can definitely run over folks if they get in your way, which super excited for this. If you get into the road, you block the streets in Florida, they can run over you.
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be
impinging. Yeah, it's their fault for impinging on you.
Pardon, sir, you're impinging upon me.
I don't care what you're in the road for, unless it's a turtle.
My rights have been impinged.
If it's a turtle you're saving in the road, fine. That's acceptable. Any other cause, whatever it is, I don't care if it's like Palestine or ICE raids, get out of the road. Go anywhere else. Go to a federal building. Go to actually in Los Angeles, they're in the place that makes the most sense in a lot of these cases. They're in front of the buildings where people are being detained and stuff. And that seems more normal. When you start pouring out in the middle of highways and blocking highways and stuff, I just want to see you knocked over like bowling pins. I don't want to see you dead necessarily, but I get out of the road. I want everybody to think about the highway as a bad place to be, not as a place where you can go out and grandstand and say, well, sure, somebody might have to deliver a baby today. There might be somebody with a heart attack on the way to the hospital. This person might be really, really in danger. But what I'm doing is so important that all of you can kiss my ass and I'll get in the road instead.
Is the governor trying to say that we have some sort of special rule that says we can run people over?
You bet your ass.
Because I thought it was just like, hey, if you feel that you are threatened, you are allowed to use specific amounts of force.
You are. Buzz on YouTube says...
It doesn't sound as badass when you say force, you know?
I still think you sounded tough, C-Lane.
Thank you.
Buzz over on YouTube says, does this include the groups of bicyclists that take over the road? I don't know. Maybe. If you got a mob of people around you on the road and they're not supposed to be there, they said you can do it.
You have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck.
I'm going to get a new flag. Don't impinge on me. With not a snake on it, you know, not a snake, but like, don't impinge on me with some sort of...
What does impinging even look like?
I think you know it when you see it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
In fact, honest to God, I've been wanting to take a commercial break, and you've been impinging on me this entire time.
Well,
that makes sense now.
Don't want to be rude.
Do it right now. Don't
want to be rude, but if you get in my way, sir, you're going to be picking hood ornaments out of your backside, all right? That's what's going to be happening.
You're going to hit him with multiple cars with hood ornaments?
You bet your ass, Josh. I'm going to be on the streets. If there's protesters out there, I'll be in the middle of two vehicles, you know, with like it's a horse, like I'm on.
You look like Santa Claus.
Yeah, like Santa Claus on the fronts of two vehicles, like I'm moving along. I'll be just crushing it out there. Please don't get in my way. I want you to be able to peacefully protest. I do. I promise. Get out there and peacefully protest, but not on the highway, please. What do you think about those comments? Let us know. Send us a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com right now. When we return, we'll hear from you. We'll also hear from a teacher who's in some trouble for getting a little bit filthy with one of the students. She's speaking out now. And we're going to hear about what she's been doing behind bars. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Peace, love, unity, respect.
I would wear my knuckles down to a nub punching people in that place.
Oh, I thought it was just because you drag them.
The Jim Colbert Show, weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast on our Thursday for Central Florida. And we are going to be expecting hot and humid temperatures to continue with a high of around 92 degrees today in Orlando, with around a 60% chance of some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. These will gradually end as we head to the overnight. And looking ahead into our Friday and our Father's Day weekend, we'll still see temperatures heating up, approaching the mid-90s, feeling like closer, though, to the low 100s with scattered afternoon showers and storms. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected when it matters most. Be prepared with Rapid Radio's walkie-talkies. With instant push-to-talk and LTE nationwide coverage, you can reach family and friends in any emergency. 100% private, no contracts, no hassle.
Stay safe. Order now at rapidradios.com.
Folks, how you doing? I want to tell you about a company I love to recommend. And if you think everything's okay with your AC, but you're just worried about your air conditioner surviving the summer months, now is an awesome time to call Mills Air and ask them about 2 words: preventative maintenance. It is so awesome and so helpful, and they'll send out one of their amazing techs. They can work on any kind of air conditioning out there, and they're ready to help you. If you have a major problem, Mills Air is there for you, and they have huge rebates up to $1,275 toward a brand new Carrier unit, and they also have financing for basically everybody, so it's not as big of a nightmare as you think it's going to be. Give Mills Air a call, 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
Now at Verizon, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on my plan. And you can get a single line for just $45 a month when you switch and bring your phone. That's our best price ever on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees, guaranteed for 3 years. Because at Verizon, we got you. Visit your local Orlando Verizon store today. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply.
People are loving what's happening now at IDC. Free financing till the year 2030. That's right. Now for a limited time, you can get the lowest finance rates in America. 0% for 5 whole years on just about every piece of jewelry in our showroom. So you can get that $8,000 engagement ring and pay just $134 a month. Or that $4,000 pair of diamond stud earrings, just $67 a month. International Diamond Center makes it happen with this incredible limited time offer. Just pick any item and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, designer jewelry, colored gemstones, even certified diamonds are included. Whether your budget is $2,000 or $200,000, this is the smartest way to buy. Hurry in to take advantage of this once-a-year event. 0% financing rates till 2030, store-wide, only at International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com. On approved credit.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes us...
Let's go, my people. Hello. We have 2 minutes. Wait, where are you going? You don't want to say hi?
I already said hello.
No, they didn't hear you. I didn't have it on when you first came in here.
Hello.
That's not very nice.
I'm not doing anything.
I know, that's the point. It's like walking into a party and not saying hello to everybody.
You don't have
Like,
to say hello
hi,
to
everybody. I do. I say hi to each individual person.
I go up to a stranger
Yeah.
and I say, I don't care what anyone says, I'm glad you came.
That's terrible. That makes somebody feel really bad.
But I'm glad they came.
I know, but it only makes it so you're not the bad person. Everybody else is the bad person.
It's a joke.
Is Courtney a bad person?
Shut up.
Mr. Predicto. Wait! We need judgment!
There is no doubt.
Oh boy! They said there is no doubt. They said there is no doubt. But I said no. I said I don't believe it. Love you. Yikes. Come on. We're coming back. Cameraman, what the hell? You tiny little bastard. Hey, come on. That's what I thought. Absolute insolence. All right, here we go.
day, because your business is more than a job, it's your legacy.
Orlando, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. Cordell.com.
Big news for drivers. Presets have landed on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with iHeartRadio. Access your favorite stations, podcasts, and playlists instantly right from your dashboard. Try the free iHeartRadio app on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and take those presets for a spin.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This is...
You can always get more of the show if you want that. I know it's early. Maybe you just tuned in, but hopefully you like what you hear today with the three best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. If you want more, get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. Buzz on YouTube says, FYI, Sean, this weekend's protests are not anti-ICE protests. They're anti-dictator/king protests. Nonsense. Come on, you know as well as I do. Here's what's going on with protests, and this is going to continue to happen. Almost all of the protests are like resistance protests, okay? Anti-Trump resistance type protests. People who are angry about Trump winning the election, and they want to vent their frustration somewhere, which honestly is perfectly fine. This is what we're allowed to do as Americans, whether you like it or not. And it just kind of keeps switching, whatever the thing is that they're complaining about. You remember, 3 months ago, there were protests in all these cities that were full on anti-Elon. They were just about Elon, and then they switched over to billionaires, but only some billionaires that we really hate, some billionaires like Jay-Z and Beyonce, we totally dig them. Is this weird thing where always it's moving, the target is moving, but it's the same group of people. When you see the protests this weekend, you're going to see people out there with pride flags, with Palestinian flags. It's the same group of people, but the motivation moves. And the motivation in this case is all of the ICE raids that are happening in these cities, which, by the way, aren't even new. Every president since, all of them have had these kind of raids. If it wasn't ICE, it was the wasn't the INS, I think?
Yeah.
INS was before ICE.
Is INS not a thing? Yeah, it's just not called that anymore?
I don't know if they just changed the name and then now ICE has become the new target or whatever, but every president does these things. There are courts and judges that determine whether people are in this country legally or illegally, and then when they get deportation orders, someone has to do that. But point being, this is the thing of the moment. This is the thing that's rallying these people in this resistance type movement, and they'll be out protesting this weekend. So that's what I think is the point of all of these protests. All right, let's get to this teacher. There is a teacher who is now going to serve 3 years in prison. And this woman, her name is Emily Nutley. Okay. And she's she was formerly a St. Xavier High School counselor. She pleaded guilty to having a sexual relationship with a teenage student in 2024.
Not the name for that.
Nutley is not a great name for all of this, but that's her. She was the director of an academic services program at a private all-boys high school in Cincinnati where she worked for 18 years. How she worked for 18 years at the school? Look at her. How old is this lady? She worked for 18 years at the school?
Good for
her. That seems crazy to me.
Doesn't look super young.
She doesn't look old enough to have worked at a school for that long.
She could have started when she was 21.
Or 18. She could be 36.
She also has to register as a tier 3 sex offender.
I didn't know there were tiers.
Yeah, there are apparently. And none of the tiers are good. Spoiler alert. They're all bad tiers. Everything is bad.
What if you had to meet somebody and you were like, listen, wait, which is the worst tier?
I don't know.
Is it like
tier
the
1?
drug schedules?
I have something to tell you, but listen, it's not even the worst tier. It's cool.
I don't know. Tier 3, because she's a teacher having sex with a student, might not be as bad as something that involved force. Who knows? But let's listen to her because we don't often get to hear from these teachers. So here is Miss Nutley, who's talking about her situation.
No excuse for what I did, and I will not try to offer one. I crossed a boundary that never should have been crossed, and I violated the trust of someone who needed to be protected and respected. I live every day with the heavy burden of knowing that I caused that harm.
The teen eventually told his parents. Police were notified. Nutley was arrested. She lost her job, license, and marriage. But the victim's family said today their son's junior and senior years of high school were ruined. His confidence was destroyed, as was his desire to play sports in college.
All right. Ruined. Come on. Do I have to be the guy all the time?
Absolutely ruined.
Do I have to be the guy all the time? Like, it's wrong what she did. What she did is inarguably wrong. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. But afterwards, it seems to me like parents are really setting up for a lawsuit when they go, my son couldn't even continue on with college sports. Like, why would you go, I had and this wasn't like, God, I'm in such dicey territory here, and I understand that. But it wasn't like this woman physically held this kid down and forced him to do this stuff.
It'd be a different tier.
He would be a different tier. He was engaging in some level knowingly with this woman who he wanted to take advantage of the situation himself as well. Still a victim. You still aren't supposed to have sex with people who are underage. She's a predator for doing so. Fine. All that stuff is fine. But afterwards, acting like, well, I can't go to play college baseball because of this. What? What, for real? You can't go play college hoops because you had a relationship with a teacher? I watch the news. Half the kids are having relationships with the teachers. There would be no more basketball team. And as far as I can tell, there's still basketball teams. This seems like a lawsuit thing. That's what it seems like to me. Maybe I'm crazy. Mr. M4RL says, well, now about the teacher, that's nasty. As well, we should think, what about if the gender roles were switched? There's still a stigma about males and grown women. I understand what you're saying, but I also wouldn't, like, if there was a 17-year-old girl who was willingly in a relationship with a male teacher, I would go, the male teacher shouldn't have done that. It was predatory. If I was the parents, I would be incensed and all those things. But also, if you start to push, like, his life is ruined, he'll never be able to play sports again, pick up the glove, man. Throw the ball. Like, this is not, I don't know. And maybe I'm crazy. Let me know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Let's see if she says anything else here, if she got any more comments.
In this situation, I believe that the proper sentence is 3 years in prison.
3 years.
3 years on count 5 to be served at the same time, for an aggregate sentence of 3 years in prison.
All right, that sounds fine by me. By the way, for the people who are saying, sounds like Sean's defending or making excuses for this woman, it says Florida Scratcher on YouTube. No, I'm simply saying, whilst I agree she's a criminal, make her a sex offender, gross, she should never do this, 3 years in prison, fine, good with it, throw her behind bars. But to go to such an extent and be like, the kid who was a victim can never play sports again, I'm just not buying it. I knew multiple kids who were 16 and 17 and having sex with teachers when I was in school. I knew multiple kids, and it was just a big gossip.
And they just got away with it. They did.
They did, yeah. And no one that I knew, like in a friend group or anything, was like bullying them for it or like ruining their lives. You know whose lives get ruined? Ugly kids. Ugly, fat kids who go to school every day, who wish the teacher would have sex with them at 16 or 17. I'm just saying.
And not even all the time. My life is great.
I'm going to disagree with the whole premise, Elon. You look fantastic, buddy.
You're not playing baseball, though.
True. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from you. Hit us with your thoughts. What do you think about this punishment? Fair, unfair? You agree with me, disagree? Send a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com right now.
What did they hit her with? Tier 3?
Tier 3. Is that worse or
That's
best?
the worst one.
Damn.
Wait, I think. Hold on. Let's see. Tier 1, offenses like misdemeanor sex crimes that don't involve violence or a minor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, Tier 1 sounds like, flashing your wiener in some places.
Still bad. Yeah, still bad.
Tier 1, registration lasts 15 years for adults, 10 for juveniles, annual in-person verification. Tier 2, result in imprisonment for more than a year or those involving a minor registration, 25 years for adults, 20 for juveniles, in-person verification every 180 days. Tier 3, which is the one that she got, includes the most severe offenses, such as rape, child kidnapping, and other violent sex crimes. I, for one, am going to say she should probably be Tier 2.
Tier 3 is what she's got, though, I guess.
Rape, child kidnapping, and other violent sex crimes. Registration lasts a lifetime for adults and juveniles with in-person verification every 90 days for life.
Wow. It says the 43-year-old mom, Emily Nutley, was fighting tears in court after being sentenced for this. She was director
she didn't
of
fight tears very well if she ended up on 3.
Academic services at a private all-boys high school in Cincinnati.
Oh, she was crying.
She engaged in these activities in her office with the student. She gave him a monthly allowance and slept with him multiple times. The student had come to Nutley for help and guidance and got her perverted desires instead. When the victim attempted to stop the encounters, Nutley continued to contact the victim via text message. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison. So let us know what you think about that. Send us your dispatch over on thenewsjunkie.com.
Well, the thing that you just described sounded a little more predatory than we know this student wanted to bang his teacher.
Yeah, I still say, like, the kid's life, the person's life, whatever, is not ruined from this. You can recover. I agree this shouldn't have happened to you, but look, you can be all right after this. It's not going to be the end of your sports career. Shouldn't. We're going to get to more of your feedback coming in. We got more about these protests going on across the country and who's involved. Somebody's got a very important email we got to get to. A lot more on the way, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Tickets for the 2025 Real Radio Charity Poker Tournament presented by JustCallMo.com go on sale June 17th. Details at realradio.fm/poker.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a couple accidents to keep an eye out for this afternoon where Orange Avenue meets Weatherby Road on State Road 434 near I-4 there. There's a crash on Oak Ridge Road at Rio Grande Avenue. Traffic's starting to slow down on I-4 through the city, and you can expect your regular delays on I-4 through that Lake Buena Vista area. No serious accidents really affecting your commute this afternoon. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected and stay productive with Rapid Radios. Business owners trust Rapid Radios for instant, reliable team communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected's never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com.
Hey, we all think about buying a house instead of renting a house, right? But do you realize that you're renting electricity every month? Yep, overpaying the power company and watching the prices rise year after year. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power or solar source? And start with that pool heater solar. It is awesome. I'm thrilled to say Solar Source, you can do the pay-as-you-go plan where you can save each month starting at just $99. Solar Source isn't new to this game. They've been in business for nearly 40 years with the same phone number since 1984. Ask about the battery backup option to protect you during a storm season. It's Solar Source.
When your company earns unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases with Capital One, that's serious business. So Stephen at SandCloud got a serious business card, the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One.
We used our 2% cash back to help build our retail presence.
Savvy, Stephen.
And we get big purchasing power, so our business can spend more and earn more.
The Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus.
Prepare for summer storms with Eustace Roofing. Our Eustace Roofing Memorial Day sale has been extended now through June 16th. As the rainy season begins, save up to $2,000 off a full roof replacement. Schedule a free estimate at EustaceRoofing.com.
Greenway Kia is under new management, and we've got a whole new attitude. With 3 great locations across Metro Orlando and one of the area's largest selections, we truly want to see you in a Kia. Plus, we want your trade. Get up to $10,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair market value for any trade. Get your fast free appraisal online right now at greenwaykias.com. I'm Joe Rossi, and I want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, East Colonial, West Colonial, and 1792 North.
All factory rebates to dealer. Negative equity refinanced.
What's up, fellas? Russ Rollins here. Get real testosterone prescribed by by the doctors at Red Mountain Weight Loss. More men are suffering from low T than ever, thanks to stress, poor diet, and lifestyle. This is a serious health issue, but I'll tell you what, if you're feeling tired, you're feeling sluggish, you lose your mental focus all the time, if you're having trouble in the bedroom, you probably have low T. The solution is prescription strength testosterone, because nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. Increasing your testosterone will give you more energy. I know. It'll help you build muscle mass. It'll help you sleep better. It improves your mental focus, and it'll boost your sex drive. It's a complete game changer. Testosterone also helps you lose and maintain your proper weight. So go to the trusted leader in health solutions for men and women, Red Mountain Weight Loss. Their experienced medical team has helped people optimize their hormones for over 30 years now, and now they can help you too. Book your free video consultation with a licensed doctor today. Have low T? Start for free this month only at Red Mountain. Go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash.
Coming back in 1 minute, everybody. 1 minute. Hang tight, all right? Coming back in 1 minute.
Is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'll give you Skull Mike next break. Skull Mike incoming. Skull Mike incoming, I promise.
Sir, heareth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places that I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Are you shopping for hurricane impact windows? Get your free quote now, reesewindows.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Filling in the gaps between the New York Times and World Star. This is
to cast some judgment. Everybody's so judgy about you and everything you do and your parenting and your friendships, and everybody is judgy. It's time for you to be judgy back. It's one of the benefits of listening to this show. I believe that you can be judgy to other people that we talk about in these viral stories, and that's what we're going to do right now. So, C-Lane and Josh, be prepared to get judgy. Are you ready to judge?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is a guy who's in big trouble. I don't know what to do with criminals like this. I get it. It's a crime. Got a lot of people talking about crime in the last couple of days here and what constitutes a crime and what doesn't. What do you do with this guy? A federal jury has convicted him. He's 35 years old, and he's from South Florida. His crime is flying free. And I have to be honest, you almost have to applaud the guy for what happened here. Let's get some details. This is Local 10 down in Miami talking about this guy's story. So hopefully this will be enough of an overview so you know what he did.
South Florida man has been convicted of wire fraud after investigators say he pretended to be a flight attendant. But police say that the reason that Tyron Alexander posed as a flight attendant was so he could book free flights. The 35-year-old flew free over 120 times. Prosecutors say he used fake badge numbers, bogus dates of hire, and listed at least 7 different employers while applying through the airline's portal.
All right, so this guy has not paid for an airline ticket since 2018. He has pretended
Not
to be a
bad.
flight attendant for all of the different airlines. And since 2018, this man has never paid for a flight on account of the skills that he had amassed here. And so he would show up at the airport and he would have like a fake badge. He would have all this stuff. And as he's going through the airport, he would go, got a killer Delta red eye today. So just good to be here. And they go, okay, come on board. Get on the jump seat, or I don't know where they put him. Maybe they give you a regular seat. But the guy has been flying for free since 2018 all the way until this last year.
Good for him.
I think what they say, 100 flights, 120 free airline flights. This guy is masked up without paying between 2018 and 2024. According to evidence presented at trial, he submitted false information through an airline carrier's employee flight booking system. He falsely claimed to be a flight attendant with 7 different airlines, providing roughly 30 fake badge numbers and hire dates. He successfully used the system to travel dozens of times at zero cost and impersonated a flight attendant all along the way. Now, if you were on this jury, what do you sentence this guy to? What do you put him behind bars for faking to be a flight attendant for 6 full years?
Well, first, he pulled a catch me if you can post 9/11, which is impressive. And I think that should be rewarded. Secondly, this is more of an indictment of the airline's internal systems than it is of this guy. I say
Which was the whole point behind Catch Me If You Can, was like, now we have to set aside whether or not that story is true or not, because there's a lot of people who have done research and said that Frank Abagnale was full of crap.
I don't care. I like his story.
This is a real Frank Abagnale.
Yeah, this will be a modern day. But Josh is kind of right, C-Lane. Like, is this proof? I mean, there's some connections here to the whole illegal immigration thing if you want to stretch it out. You're like, do you care about this being a crime? Also, who are the victims here? Also, when you look at this, is the person just taking advantage of weaknesses, in this case, with the airlines? Like, I could see how you could connect those dots if you're listening to what we've been talking about recently on the show. But Josh says, set him free. Free the man. What do you say?
Set him free on the condition that he assists the airlines in telling them how he got around their systems so that they can prevent problems in the future.
All right. That's very much like you would with a hacker or somebody. What do you think, Sil?
Have him, explain everything he did and how he did it, and then maybe some probation. But I heard this a little bit yesterday, and I think he got more than the teacher, right? Didn't he get like some really stupid?
He got.
Nice.
He's facing. Well, I don't know if the sentence went through, but he was facing 30 years in federal prison, which is kind of wild to think about.
Is that because did they stack the charges? Like they got him on wire fraud, which these days the barrier to entry for wire fraud it's basically just fraud. It means you have to use electronic communications, which you do every day. A text message could be it.
Yeah.
Like phone calls, emails, or the internet to execute a fraudulent scheme. But they said he took hundreds of flights. Are they counting each one of those as a count of wire fraud? Or are they just stacking these up and that's why he's facing 30 years?
They said he is scheduled to be sentenced August 25th, so we're a little ways out from that. And he's facing 30 years because of the fake badges, the false information that he submitted. The Department of Justice went after him for all these things. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, giving somebody too long for that seems kind of crazy. Like, for sure, I think we would all agree that 30 years in federal prison for that seems wild. But let us know what you think. Now you guys judge. What do you think should be the punishment for this? BDMP on Twitch says, free the man. I'm still pissed we pay for baggage fees. They were only supposed to be a temporary thing to help after 9/11. Thanks, C-Lane, says this person. Yeah.
Sorry,
tier 4.
I turned 15.
Somebody wants to turn this person into a tier 4 violator? No. I don't think so. I do think this is pretty wild that he was able to get away with this, but I'm eager to hear what you think the punishment should be. So let us know. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com right now.
There are some crimes that you commit many of that I think are deserving of the stack sentence. Like a serial killer needs to go down for every murder they committed, because in this case, there are real victims that are harmed irreparably.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Who are the victims here? The airline companies?
I agree, but the reason why I drew the comparison between this and like the illegal immigrants arrests and the ICE stuff is it's kind of hard in that case to show who the victim is. Who is the victim? You could say, like, maybe if you stretched it, you could say the American taxpayer or like people getting robbed out of jobs. Like, what if you really stretched it, you could say that.
Oh, if you wanted to also stretch it, you could say in this case, victim might seem kind of like a more harsh word, but it's unfair to the person who did it the right way.
Yeah, but there is strangely a lot of similarities in these two things that are very, very different from one another. But let us know what you think. We'll get to that in just a moment.
Maybe they should make him be a flight attendant.
It's your punishment. 1 year of
no
service.
free flights.
Florida Scratcher on YouTube says, what a world we live in that this guy gets 30 years and a rapist gets 3. That is true. He hasn't gotten 30 years yet, though. So it's on the way. I just wonder what people would actually give so we could try to get into the minds of some of these folks who are on the jury here. Let us know. In the meantime, let's talk about Leah Lendell, who I salute you today, Leah Lendell. What a tough girl.
Thank you.
She was attacked after snorkeling off Boca Grande, Florida, and she was 9 years old. She is 9 years old, I should say. She survived, thank God. She was attacked by a shark.
In a giant mouth?
She was snorkeling in the mouth of the rat. Well, that's Boca Raton. So, yeah, in a giant mouth, wherever this place is. The family, Leah Lendell, that was at Boca Grande, translation, big mouth, was telling Gulf Coast News that she went underwater, and as she came up, she started screaming. Her mother, who was about 4 feet away with her 2 toddler children, said she saw Leah's hand was covered in blood and mostly torn off. Oh, my God. C-Lane. Could you imagine? You got a young kid. Jackson's 1.5 or something. What do you do if he's swimming around and he comes up and he's missing a hand and a shark attacked him and you're the first one to see that?
Blame it on Ashley.
First thing he thinks about is pointing the finger for blame.
Maybe if you were watching him better.
This never would have happened. Her hand was covered in blood and mostly torn off. The mother said she took the 2
You
toddlers
said this was
to
your
shore.
day to watch him. We rock, paper, scissored over it. Fair and square.
Leah said she was able to walk to shore by herself where a group of nearby construction workers wrapped her hand in some T-shirts. They brought her to a hospital in Tampa. They were able to put her hand back together Humpty Dumpty style.
Nice.
Her uncle created a GoFundMe to help with her. And if you want to look it up, Leah Lendell, Leahlendel is her name. That's the young girl who got bit by this shark. Scary stuff, man. That would have me freaking out for sure. All right, let's work in maybe a dispatch or two. This is about that flight. Janine, I think. Hello?
Good morning, Sean.
Hey.
Elaine, Joshua.
Hello.
So glad that you started out with that story about the plane crashing. As I prepare to board a plane first thing in the morning.
Oh, no!
I'm only flying to Denver, though. So, wish me luck.
Well, first of all, good luck. I want to wish you luck. Yes, I do indeed want to wish you luck. Second of all, you're going to be fine. It's a very, very safe way to travel. It just so happens that covering viral news, you end up whenever one of these stories happens, and if it involves a 787 like this, and if it involves somebody who jumped out the emergency exit and somehow survived this whole tragedy, is going to end up on the show. It just is. Here is somebody saying, I'm a podcast listener most of the time. Listening on Spotify, I usually have the text up. So they watch with like the transcription up on the screen. I wonder how many people watch
that's a
like
thing?
that. Yeah, I guess so. And they said they keep getting you wrong like this. When I'm going to break, it says, it's coming up next on the news, Chunky.
It's on the news, Chunky.
All right, just for the record, when I go to break, I'm not calling you fat. I am not doing that, I assure you. Sometimes it does definitely sound like I say, on the news, Chunky. Yeah, it 1,000% does. But it's just because it's just falling out of my mouth. I've said it 8 billion times so far. So thank you for that. Yeah, it says it's coming up next on the news, Chunky. I don't think you guys are chunky. I think you look great. Last one for now. Here is Concrete Mike talking about Beavis and Butthead.
Happy Hump Day News Junkie crew.
Hey.
This is I don't know if you're aware of this or not.
This is old.
Mr. Watson, but Beavis and Butthead had 2 brand new seasons back in 2023 and 2024. And they're on Paramount.
Yeah.
And they are hilarious. You got to check them out, man. If you like that when you're younger, you're going to love these 2 new seasons they have.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Beavis and Butthead as an adult, like, to me, there's a couple of things that don't age as well as I wanted them to, and there's shows that I loved when I was a kid. One is Beavis and Butthead. When I watch it as an adult, I'm like, this was stupid, but it was so fun at the time. And the other is, and I will get some pushback on this, I'm sure, from certain quarters, Ren and Stimpy.
I was never huge on Ren and Stimpy, but I can get that. Like, if you went back and watched it now, you'd be like,
yeah,
I really enjoyed it. There's a movie that in high school, all my friends quoted. We thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I'm sure at a certain time, I might even still think it's a little funny. But I also look back on it sometimes and go, I really liked Saving Silverman. I don't know if I think I would laugh as hard if I watched it today.
Does it not hold up?
I don't know. I haven't watched it in forever. Maybe I'll have to check that out. Yeah. But I have to look at it through this lens. If I said, Ashley, let's throw in a movie tonight. Let's watch this movie I loved in high school, Saving Silverman. And then she has to sit through all the comedy and all the Jack Black. I think she might be like, the hell are you doing?
What is this? But that's what your parents did back when those shows were on.
Yeah, of course.
But I would watch Ren and Stimpy and I'd be like, it's never going to get any funnier than this. We've peaked. This is peak funny right here. And then now I watch it and I go, what was I thinking? I know some people angry already on chat. I get it. I just think some of these things are so beautiful as a kid. And then as an adult, they don't hold up. But some of them, I'll assure you, do hold up. Like a great cartoon back in the day that I talk about. And I know there's only like 4 other people to watch this, but it was called Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century.
Nerd.
It was a cartoon. It was on, I think, after school. And it was all about Sherlock Holmes and his exploits. And I loved it. And I went back.
They played in the 16th century is when that came out.
I went back and watched it. It holds up. It holds up like Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the old cartoons hold up. In 2025. Some of this stuff, Beavis and Butthead, I think among them, does not hold up. But we'll take your input on what does and doesn't. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and leave a dispatch right now. Fire is what he's saying. Fire. Fire. Sounded like something else. All right, when we come back, we'll get you all set up for the next episode, of course. Somebody's doing that. And we got to talk about the big AI fight that just broke out. Things are getting wild, and I think it's about damn time. And to open up the conversation, we'll bring you, C-Lane went over this yesterday, but we never ended up playing.
It's so good.
The AI thing.
So AI right now is just killing it.
And this is supposed to be the AI anthem, which is a response to all of the protests and riots and stuff that have happened with the ICE raid. So how that factors in, you're going to hear it yourself. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Russ, if Ryan gets a speedboat, the next day's headline is going to be this: Captain Corn Carney causes carnage at Causeway.
Ah, damn, he did it with that.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's a disabled truck partially blocking the ramp from State Road 434 to State Road 408 westbound. There's a crash getting cleared up on State Road 434 near I-4. Look out for an accident reported on Orange Avenue at Weatherby Road. There's no serious accidents really affecting your commute on the major roadways this afternoon. But if you do see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant.
Go, Mike. I guess so, yeah, where you just freely roam. It's so stupid. But it kind of makes me laugh.
Goodness.
Uh-oh. I'm hitting too many buttons. Mods, do me a favor. I've been meaning to address this publicly. Now's a good time. Now's a good time. Everybody, can I get your attention? Attention, chat. I need your attention here if you don't mind. There have been a couple of rogue folks in chat, and I think we don't have names for them, but I would call them chat predators. Would probably be the best way to handle this moving forward. There are different levels and tiers of chat predators. There's a tier 1 chat predator, not so bad. Tier 2 chat predator, a little worse. Tier 3 chat predator is when it really just throws things off. And I think, mods, when you see these tier 3 chat predators, you gotta zap them as soon as you can. I've seen this guy Jack that's been popping in and out, and this guy is really like harshing the mellow, as they said in the 70s. It's a little bit tough. So this Jack person, who we would probably consider a tier 3 chat predator, I think. Keep an eye on him, please, okay? Let's keep an eye on this person. Tier 1 chat predators, we'll let them hang out for a second. Tier 2, they're on warning. But a tier 3 like this Jack character, you got to get rid of him. But half of what he said was very true. Okay? Half of what he said was very true. All right, we got 3 minutes, folks. Never noticed a Jack? That's because you're old and you don't pay any attention, Flats Fisherman. This is the internet. Welcome to it. Things go fast. You're literally in the same chat room as this tier 3 chat predator, and you didn't even notice any of this was going on. If you don't find that problematic, I don't know what to tell you. How many do we think we have? Mr. Predicto, is there more than one tier 3 chat predator in chat right now? No. Only one. There's only one tier 3 chat predator right now. It's Jack. So be safe. People are saying Bradshaw? Who's Bradshaw? What are you talking about? We're talking about the Jack from chat. That's what we're discussing. 2 minutes. 2 minutes and we're coming back. And by the way, we're currently getting our new scenes ready for all the new shots we're going to be doing. Multi-shots, 3 shots, all sorts of different stuff. Some better like stuff where when I'm talking we want to feature the browser so you can read it a little bit better. All of that is on the web. Was he on here or on Twitch, says Connor. Well, Connor, Jack doesn't know how to use Twitch. Let's be real. Jack's a YouTube guy in his core. The man's too busy for Twitch, okay? He's sitting there in his office. He's working on all these things feverishly. He doesn't have time for shit like Twitch. He doesn't know what Twitch is all about, okay? He doesn't know what badges are available over there, what emotes are. You think Jack knows what an emote is? Does he? He might. Jack is being bullied? Jack the tier 3 chat predator? That's what I heard. I don't remember the source. Good looking guy though. I will say that. Good looking guy. Suspiciously good looking guy. Makes you wonder. I've always thought he was a Fed. You know what I mean?
bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
June is champion season, and Fox Sports Radio is where you come to talk about it. NBA Finals, OKC, and Indiana are going off.
Tyrese Halliburton is here to stay.
Stanley Cup Panthers and Oilers are bringing the heat.
Can the Panthers make it back-to-back?
MLB is getting straight spicy.
Ohtani, he's better than Babe Ruth.
To the ice, to the diamond. Get the takes, guests, and stay locked in. Search Fox Sports Radio and make it your next preset on the free iHeartRadio app.
Morgan & Morgan, dial pound 529 on your cell phone. Pound law, that's all.
If it's important to you, it's on and probably being mocked by.
TIPS, tips at thenewsjunkie.com. If you want to be anonymous, put that right on top of your email. Don't forget, otherwise I'll probably say your name, and I don't want to do that. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, we've got a lot going on with the riots, with ICE raids, with people arguing about immigration in the streets, with all kinds of things. And now you have AI crashing into that moment here in our country. And there's a music video that has dropped in response to the LA riots. And C-Lane says it's fairly impressive. It's pretty damn impressive.
It's really good.
And it's got all the characters you might imagine. Trump is featured in it. You got Gavin Newsom in it. And is this all done with that Google Video AI tool to make the video?
I have a feeling it might be Google Veo. I don't know for sure, but
it's so good.
Effects are good. The camera shots are good. The cameos are just top notch.
Who's singing? Where's the actual vocals?
That I don't know.
All right, let's see what we got here. Here it is to kind of kick us into a weekend where I'm sure these riots are going to get even more wild to watch in the news. Everybody involved in this whole protest movement. Like now, it just froze on Gavin Newsom, who has like a
pride flag and
a pride flag. But what's the like a harness, like a harness, dog harness or something?
It's like a weird suspender or something.
Yeah, he's out on top of a vehicle. They're all these characters taking part in the riots on the street.
Rolly ain't got a tick.
Trump with blood on him, Elon Musk.
Caught up in a mix.
There's one shot of Elon Musk that is so good.
With the school for paying pics. Now I paid the bigger pic.
I mean, the craziest thing is AOC looting
with bread.
AOC looting with these guys. The craziest thing about it to me is in like a year, it won't be limited to these little 5-second tops clips or 3 or 4 second clips that AI can churn out. They'll just be able to do the whole thing at once, and it'll be just a seamless thing.
Did you guys see Ryan Holmes' latest Instagram AI extravaganza?
Yes.
No, I know.
That was real good.
And what was it made with the same kind of tool here?
He said, I think he said it was mostly Google VO.
Mm-hmm.
But it was where John Morgan and his sons are Power Rangers fighting crime. And
it's crazy.
It's real good.
The AOC with some loaves of bread, just participating in the looting, I guess. Bring this down. This will be the military parade this weekend.
Basically.
Kanye West on a horse, all right? Kanye West in another outfit. He's getting arrested at the protest.
Madame.
Oh, Greta, what's her name?
Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg eating a sandwich.
This was the one where one of the comments was like, "This should be Elon Musk's dating profile picture." Him in a Cybertruck smoking a cigar
with a do-rag on his head.
Yeah,
they made him look actually cool there.
They did.
looking like a quarter lick.
AOC floating around on the hood of a car. Man, what a time.
That's Zuckerberg?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Zuckerberg with a QR code on his riot outfit. What an absolute time to be alive. And this is just the beginning. It's going to get so much crazier than this. Is this a song that somebody else made, or is that a song AI too? I'm worried that the whole thing's going to get copyright hit, but whatever.
I have a feeling somebody made it for this video.
Okay, I hope so. I hope that's the case.
So
we shall see. I know that there's a lot of lawsuits gearing up for this. Let me bring up this story so I can read it to you here. Because Disney and Universal have been the first to kind of pop up and go after the AI-generated imagery. And this story says, Hollywood finally goes after AI-generated imagery. Midjourney, not the Google one that we were just talking about, is the quintessential copyright-free writer, it says in their lawsuit. And here is the difference. It's kind of interesting to look at. The difference between the AI output of Midjourney and then what Disney's copyrighted characters, in this case Yoda, is what they're looking at. And they're saying this is copyright infringement. Your character looks exactly like Yoda looks. And I'm no Star Wars guy, but it looks a lot like Yoda, right? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you could say that this is like satire or something else, but they're definitely right about that.
It would have to be a parody for something like that to work. But right now, if you're just releasing pictures of something like that, like if that left thing, the Midjourney output, was like a poster that you sold, then you're definitely infringing copyright.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right about that. I don't know how they end up winning this. I think it does look like it's absolutely Disney's copyrighted characters that they're using in this.
The fact that the AI can spit it out is that what we're arguing is the problem here?
I mean, I don't know, because would they blame the user for putting in the input that led to the copyrighted material?
I think maybe they're blaming the fact that some users have to pay for AI generated content. I mean, you're paying for the use of the GPUs and the processing power, but I guess what the copyright holder would argue is being sold is their intellectual property. What the AI company would argue is being sold is the GPU and the processing power. I mean, because anybody can paint their own picture of Yoda. That's totally legal. Right. And then, we followed a guy, a short journey of a guy who did a 3D printed sculpture of a Disney character. And all of a sudden they started finding out that Disney was selling it in their stores at the theme park.
Yeah. They stole the thing that he stole from them, basically. Yeah.
And this guy had like very little legal recourse, even though I think he was in the right. Many people think he was in the right. But realistically, Disney's lawyers are just way too powerful and they have way too much money that they could drag this out in court for so long and he would never get his justice.
Well, I have the actual lawsuit here. It says, the story real quick from Morning Brew says, Midjourney is the quintessential copyright-free writer, or free writer, copyright-free writer, a bottomless pit of plagiarism, a virtual vending machine for endless unauthorized copies of copyrighted works, Disney and Universal said in the lawsuit. They allege in the complaint, Midjourney violates their copyrights in two ways: by training its AI model on intellectual property and by generating images that display protected IP. This threatens to upend American dominance in movies and TV. Midjourney never responded to cease and desist letters sent last year and last month, which asked the startup to stop its theft. And then they released the actual lawsuit here from these big-time California attorneys on behalf of Marvel, 20th Century Fox, DreamWorks Animation, and it says, for direct and secondary copyright infringement under the Copyright Act. So they're going after them here. I don't know if they'll be successful. I don't know if they'll be able to, to win this and shut down some of the AIs. I feel like it's too late. I feel like the genie's out of the bottle, but they say Midjourney, which has attracted millions of subscribers and made $300 million in the last year alone, is focused on its own bottom line and ignoring plaintiffs' demands. Instead, Midjourney has chosen to double down on its unlawful actions by releasing and promoting even newer versions of the service and teasing its soon-to-be-released commercial AI video service.
But is Midjourney saying, hey, you can make Yoda with Midjourney? Like,
no, I think they just say, here's the tools.
Right. So in this case, I think your argument, if you're Midjourney, is going to be like, hey, if Joshua Marie Fowler wanted to get on his computer and open up Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop and paint a picture digitally of Yoda, he's totally allowed to do so. But instead, we're suing Adobe. We're suing Photoshop. We're suing the computer maker.
Yeah. I think
Are you following that?
Like, no, I understand what you're saying, because they are not telling you how to use that tool. If I wanted to get really loose with it, I would say it would be like somebody selling a pair of sneakers and then somebody robbing a store and running away with the sneakers. And you're like, they utilized the sneakers to commit this crime. And you would say, well, it's them doing it. And it's kind of like maybe another thing would be Napster or those kind of outlets where you go, they aren't breaking the law. It's the people who are utilizing the service. But will they be victorious? Let us know what you think. Should Disney and Universal win against the AI companies? We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into the next episode. Don't even know who's hosting the next episode, but it's happening next. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be unbelievable. Josh is shrugging his shoulders over there. He looks like he's at least somewhat confident.
Hey, I don't know.
Minor confidence. We shall see what happens. All I know is that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast on this Thursday. And for today, we are going to be expecting another summer-like hot and humid day with the return of some afternoon showers and storms. Plan for temperatures to climb into the low and middle 90s with a high of around 92 degrees today in Orlando, but feeling closer to the upper 90s to near 100 degrees. When it comes to our rain and storm chances, we'll see about a 50 to 60% chance, mainly during the afternoon and evening. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected and stay productive with Rapid Radios. Business owners trust Rapid Radios for instant, reliable team communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected has never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com.
You know, the stormier it gets this season, the more you realize, hey, you know, hurricane season's just kicking off. And we need to think about protecting our homes, keeping our families safe, keeping our belongings safe. And you got to do that with Hurricane Impact Windows. That's one huge step. And you can do that with my friends at Reese Windows and Doors. They're experts installing windows over 50 years. Impact windows that are affordable, that are energy efficient, and then come with that double lifetime warranty. That means when you sell your house, the warranty transfers to the new buyer. It increases the value of your home. It increases your peace of mind. And you can get that done in just 6 to 8 weeks. You buy 2 windows right now, you get 1 free. Installation is included. And they offer a huge variety of front entry doors, sliding glass doors, high-end options, affordable selections, and all of those are available to peruse at reecewindows.com, REECE windows.com. They're proud supporters and fundraisers for St. Jude Children's Hospital, and right now they want to give you a free quote and register you to win $15,000 in free windows. How do you do that? You pick up your phone, you text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129 for Reese Windows and Doors.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
The official...
Skolai! Skolai, people, how are we? We got 3.5 minutes. What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to chat about in the meantime? Good job, cameraman. 3.5 minutes, then we do the next episode. then we're busting it wide open. Because I want to get into a bunch of videos that are starting to go viral about the ICE stuff. There's a lot that's fun, controversial, interesting to talk about. All good in the hood? I'm not legally allowed to say that. Tanya says, got my school bike sticker and magnet yesterday. Woohoo, I love them. Thank you, Tanya. Appreciate you. Thank you for all your great work and chat messages that are top notch. Talk about, okay, 3.5 minutes. What does that mean? You want to talk about 3.5 minutes? 3.5 minutes is just a unit of time. It means you could fill that time with anything you wanted to. You could fill it with something boring and mundane. You could fill it with murdering a room full of people, which would be shocking and exciting. You could fill it with absolutely anything. Something political, something not political, something funny, something not funny. Anything you wanted to. You could create an entire fictional narrative about a little wizard who goes off to a place called Hogwarts and tell everybody where he's going to go. You could do all these things. Or you can just hang out. AJ says, got my stickers and magnets, and one promptly got put on the back of my hubby's new car. Nice. What kind of car, AJ? Just got my shirt today. Thanks, Wasson. You son of a bitch. Sean, have you heard Kash Patel's interview on Joe Rogan? No, that doesn't entice me, honestly. I have heard that there's some MAGA types that are losing faith in Kash Patel. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if he's kind of falling prey to the idea that he went in as this underdog and this guy sort of fighting the system, and now you become the system. And then things like the Epstein files release and stuff, I think it sort of shines a light on, hey, the reality of running these 3-letter organizations, FBI, CIA, is harder than you think. You can't just flip everything inside out. But I don't really care about listening to him talk to Joe Rogan. Unless I'm missing something good. Here we go.
No hard credit inquiry, and get peace of mind right there at your fingertips by going to thatmortgageguydawn.com.
Don't miss the book, compare your quote with thatmortgageguydawn.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This is
all things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate that. Learn more about this very show and the 3 best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day over at thenewsjunkie.com. Big thanks to Fizzy, P-H-I-Z-Z-Y, for gifting 4 Secret Show subscriptions over on thenewsjunkie.com. Those were gobbled up yesterday, late last night when he gifted those. And Fizzy is going to be all ready, and I'm sure so are the people who got gifted those subscriptions for Secret Shows tonight. These are the shows that are fully uncensored that you can watch live on the Discord if you're a subscriber, and you can subscribe to on thenewsjunkie.com. Video, audio, whatever you want.
I suggest watching live on Discord tonight because there's a chance that after this, maybe Friday, Sean just goes, "Oh, we can't release that. That was a train wreck, guys."
Episode 420 of Secret Shows, yes, that does seem like one where I go, is this listenable?
Drink some fizzy lifting drinks.
Burp, Charlie, burp.
Is this a good idea? I don't know. We shall see. All of that is on the way. If you want to find out more, go learn. Go peek over on thenewsjunkie.com in the Secret Shows section. All right, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Get out of my house with all that gay.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with
me. You would do that during Pride Month, huh?
Look at me go.
Disrespectful. You know who's not disrespectful is, and who is nice, is that mortgage guy Don, though.
True.
Yes.
That mortgage guy Don.
Go to thatmortgageguyDon.com if you want to get into that dream house, or if you want to get into the house before the dream house, or maybe you didn't go with thatmortgageguyDon.com for the dream house, and you're screwed. You need to get to the after the dream house.
You got a scream house.
He's going to help you out. If you're in the house already, you need a refi, a HELOC. He's got the reverse mortgage. He does everything. I don't know what half that stuff means. He does. That's why you go to the expert. You listen to him on the Home Loans radio show. He answers your questions. He demystifies the mortgage business, and he does it all with a smile because he's a nice guy. Hit him up at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the book, compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Don told me there's 3 levels. There's the scream home, and that's like you made a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
There's the cream home, and you're like, damn, this is good.
That's where I live.
And then there's
as in of the crop.
And then there's the dream home, which is like ultimate. That's what you want to stay in for the rest of your life. So go from scream to cream to dream with that mortgage guy Don, as he says.
Beautiful. Yeah. And thank you for setting me up. As there is a Scream Home story today.
Oh.
You may remember the name Brittany Fortenberry. We spoke of her several months ago.
Let's see, Brittany Forten. Okay, yeah, we must have, yeah.
She was a teacher. She is now in jail for certain crimes, tier 3, some would say.
Yeah.
For having several young boys over to her house to have relations while they wore Scream masks.
What?
Yeah. Do you recognize this lady, C-Lane? This is
maybe I was gone that day.
This is the teacher who got in trouble for being with her students, and then there was all these photos of her like in bikinis and stuff. And now I think she's going to really get hit with these charges pretty hard.
Yeah, she was slapped with 41 felonies earlier this year in relation to her disturbing string of alleged sex crimes. Her husband, Nicholas, immediately filed for divorce. However, that cut off more than half his finances, apparently, and he just asked the judge if he could sell their Scream home, and now their Scream home is on the market.
Look at this. This kind of graphic on the screen is not great for you when you're a teacher. Not really working out for Brittany Fortenberry. Had sex with a 15-year-old student in her home.
Neither is the headline from People. Teacher charged with sex crimes allegedly said she dreamed of sex with students.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you get it. This lady's high on the tier.
She's bad. She's a bad lady. Yep. You know who's not a bad lady, I think? Dua Lipa.
That's right, Dua Lipa.
Is correct. She is engaged to an actor named Callum Turner, and I don't know who that is.
Love Callum Turner.
But it was a big enough story that the tea was spilled to British Vogue. She is very excited, and we're all just very happy for her that she's getting married, I guess.
What does British Vogue sound like?
We're a tabloid, ain't it? But we got some real stories, yeah?
Couple.
Nice.
Bloody.
Couple bangers and mash up in the pages here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, President Trump went to the Kennedy Center opening yesterday.
Oh. Yeah. I heard this, I heard there were boos and cheers. It was like a mixed reception.
He went for a showing.
He probably said, not a single boo. It was all cheers.
Even the drag dancers like me.
Very mixed reception for him.
Sure, the Kennedys would have loved it.
Well, one of the Kennedys loved it for sure. A lot of boos until finally a repeated USA chant won over the boos. He was there to see Les Miserables. So, God
yeah,
bless,
you know what?
I guess.
You know what I liked about this? He totally pulled a move I would have played. So let me see. I don't think I could get it up in time.
I went to see. I don't know. They wouldn't have been so miserable if they had Trump as a president.
They asked him out in front. Oh, I wish I had the clip. I'll try to find it for you guys.
They asked if he identified more with the ex-con turned hero or the relentless cop.
Real John Valjean.
Yeah, they were like, who's your favorite character in Les Mis, Trump? And he's like, oh, I don't want to pick. You know, let me just. I'll let Melania handle this.
And then she just smiles at the camera and they move on.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of smiling at the camera and moving on, this guy.
Diddy! Oh, yeah.
That segue didn't really work. But he's been in court, as we all know. And there's a little bit of an audio clip that he had sent to Jane that I will play for you right here.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the pipe.
You are the
That's
crack
my
pipe.
new name for you, pipe. Or should I call you CP?
So he liked to call her crack pipe as if
That's
he was
weird.
addicted to her.
Who was bleeping out crack?
TMZ.
Who?
I don't know, man. You know how they are. They're weird.
They're cowards. They're They're
like,
scared of crack.
Oh, we'll go hang out with the Menendez brothers, but we bleep out crack pipe for funsies. Anyway, that was played in court. His attorneys are trying to say that she was participating more and dangled freak-offs as a way to get him to do what she wanted.
Damn.
We'll see how that turns out. Ryan Gosling will not be cast as Black Panther, in case you needed anyone to verify that. That was after an internet meme from like 2018 where his face was photoshopped on there.
Yeah, but now that they said Black Panther's white, people were like, oh, this could come true.
Yeah, they said in part of the storyline, Black Panther's son is revealed to be like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy or...
God.
Okay.
In another timeline.
Now I can just hear, I think it was Chappelle on Undercover Brother that was like, you had sex with a white woman?
Exactly. This guy may have done that.
Now tuned into the
Jay-Z. Now married to Beyonce, we all know. Lost $1 million after the Pacers won the NBA Finals Game 3 last night.
He's going to be all right.
Yeah, that's like chump change for him.
Yeah.
He would have walked away with $3.3 million had the Pacers lost, but they pulled it out in the end. And maybe he'll bet on the next game, maybe not. This guy here, I don't know if you'll know his name.
I don't know his name, but the Whip Nene song.
Silento.
Oh, I never would have came up with Silento.
Because he had one song and then he disappeared.
Sounds like a brand of pasta sauce.
He disappeared because he killed his cousin in 2021.
Allegedly?
Nope. He's been sentenced to 30 years in prison for his role in the 2021 shooting death of his cousin. 10 days after the shooting, he confessed to the slaying, but shouldered some of the blame to a significant mental health crisis he suffered from since he was a child. He said he even tried to take his own life in 2020. Either way, he's gone to prison for 30 years.
Brutal.
Who can't go to prison is this guy.
Oh, Brian.
I don't know if you heard about this.
Wilson. I heard Brian Wilson. Something happened. Something happened to him.
Yeah, it's crazy. Most known for being the brother of the guy that was friends with, what's his face? Charles Manson.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Wilson is dead, so 82 years old.
I'm hearing that now for the first time.
I don't know that he did much else in his life. That Brian Wilson, I'll tell you that much.
Didn't really need to. I mean, that was a lot of very prolific music he released.
Oh, yeah, he did a great job. Good for him. God bless him.
Josh doesn't like him.
God rest his soul. I like him. I'm just moving on to my favorite story of the day.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Oh, J-Lo.
Yes. J-Lo's ex-husband.
All right,
Ben
Seelan,
Affleck.
let's see how mundane this J-Lo story is that he's
This
worked
is a
in
good
here.
one.
He
This is
works
a really
in a
good
J-Lo
one.
song every single time so he can play this little South Park J-Lo song, which I love. But sometimes it's like Jennifer Lopez was spotted wearing a bracelet at an evening event in France. It's okay.
It's important to know.
One headline that was like, J-Lo has rare bad hair day after 3 days ago bombshell bodysuit.
It happens. These are important things to know. Like, it's important to know that Ben Affleck, 52, looked stressed when he was spotted smoking a cigarette while driving from his office in L.A. this week.
No.
I know. He's apparently going through a tough time because their 38,000 square foot home is on the market for now $1 million less than what they paid for it, and he is just apparently trying to force that sale so he can be done with her forever.
You know, the truth is this, and I don't know how many people know this, but I feel so bad for Ben Affleck because Ben Affleck loves to be an actor, loves acting, loves to be a part of all these things, and hates being famous. He
does.
He hates being famous, but he loves being an actor, and it's an impossible thing for him, I think. But
what would the paparazzi do if Ben Affleck quit smoking?
Oh, God. They all those great
like,
photos
how are they
of
going to
him.
find sad Affleck anymore?
Oh, well, they did mention that he also yawned while driving, so he must be bored, too.
Oh, this is big.
You know, Daily Mail is at the forefront of incredible journalism. And on Le Boob Tube tonight, Crime Nation on CW, Secrets of the Bunny Ranch on A&E, Welcome to Wrexham is on FX, and...
Secrets of the Bunny Ranch?
Yeah, you might want to watch that.
What year is it? How long has that guy been dead?
Well, we got to talk about him now. Sam Rockwell will be on Jimmy Kimmel, John C. Reilly and Steve Buscemi on Stephen Colbert. And I finally said Colbert correctly.
Nice.
Good for me. And Jimmy Fallon has your favorite, Mark Maron. And Journey Smollett. I don't know if they're related to Jussie Smollett, but here we are.
He has quietly changed his name.
No, I'm a whole new guy.
That would be a very Jussie move.
A whole different guy. And then Seth Meyers has Jason Isaacs. And that is your next episode. Thank you. God bless. I don't know which Les Miserables guy I am, but if I was one, I'd be the good one.
I'd be the best.
And it's my second favorite Anne Hathaway in France movie.
I am just glad nobody's ever going to ask me a Les Mis question because I don't know anything about it.
They're gonna
I don't know. Yeah, C-Lane is like my go-to for Broadway stuff because he's closer to it than me.
I've seen Les Mis once, and that was enough for me.
Is it about like poor kids? Because I don't want to watch that.
It's just it's only sung. There's no dialogue, which is not a deal breaker for me. But it's hard to understand. I had no clue what was going on.
But are they poor?
I don't know, man.
I don't watch Poor Kids Broadway.
I don't know what
TV
it's
shows.
about, man.
I don't. I only watch
Jules.
When I was growing up, I would only watch when the kids were rich. Richie Rich, great movie, classic. Blank Check, the beginning sucked. When he got all the money from the blank check, great movie.
There is some poor. All right, 19th century France stories of Jean Valjean, a French peasant, and his desire for redemption. After stealing a loaf of bread for his sister's starving child, he's imprisoned for 19 years. Fair. And released in 1815.
What tier is that?
19 years for a loaf of bread?
That's a 6th tier.
This woman had sex 1,000,000 times with a teenager, and she got 3 years. And this is what? Did you steal a loaf of bread to feed your family? I'm sorry. Just admit it. Now's the time, okay? We're going to make you pay for this.
All right,
Here we go.
hold on. Let me see if this keeps you. Valjean breaks his parole and starts his life anew in disguise and becomes wealthy.
Yeah.
And adopts an orphan.
No.
It's like the plot of Annie.
No, I don't want orphans in my movies either. Sorry.
But he's rich now.
Send your hate mail to tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
Pretty much John Valjean, except for the whole orphan thing.
Quick break. When we come back, we hear from you. And we also hear from some emails that are a little bit fired up. We got more to get to on the protest front because there's a lot of that happening out there. People are making these videos. When I say people, I mean there's a bunch of women from Hollywood, basically, who are making these videos. We have to touch on these. We'll get into that, in fact. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
The Real Comedy Mount Dora Summer Night Series starts with Ross Padgett, June 14th. Details at realradio.fm/comedy.
from the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's a disabled vehicle on the ramp from Atrial to State Road 408 westbound getting cleared up there. Traffic starting to slow down due to an accident on State Road 408 westbound before I-4. The right lane's blocked there. Keep an eye out for an accident off to the shoulder getting cleared up on I-4 eastbound before Princeton Street there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected and stay productive with Rapid Radios. Business owners trust Rapid Radios for instant, reliable team communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected's never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
The Real Radio Summer of Laughs continues with the Real Comedy Mount Dora Summer Nights series. Get ready for a night of nonstop laughs Saturday, June 14th at the Mount Dora Music Hall. Starring Orlando local award-winning comedian and 5-star defensive player of the year, Ross Padgett.
I'm 33. I don't think I look 33. I think I look 22 and terminally ill. Really into Fortnite and have like 5 months to live.
This evening of comedy will also be featuring Kevin Dean and Joel Warren and will be hosted by the one and only Angel of Boom from the Monsters in the Morning. Saturday, June 14th at the Mount Dora Music Hall. Sponsored by Discover Lake County. Doors open at 7, show at 8. Get your tickets today at realradio.fm/comedy.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes us different. Our vans are fully stocked, so when you call, our fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, Precision Garage Door Service of Orlando has you covered right when you need it the most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door Service of Orlando today to schedule your repair. Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah and Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready.
Let's go, my friends. How are we? Hang tight, give me 1 minute. Okay. Oh, shoot. We gotta get some weekends going. We really gotta make it happen here. All right. Hope you're hanging in there on a Thursday. It's gonna be fun tonight when we do Secret Shows, by the way. It is the 420th episode of Secret Shows. So we're going to celebrate that, and I will probably lose my mind. If you're into me losing my mind, you'll be into what's going to be happening. Because anytime I kind of lose control of what's going on in the situation, and my brain is a little, like drinking I can do, but if there's anything else that's affecting me, I lose it. Three minutes and we're coming back. Hey, Sean, congrats on 420. I mean, look at us go. They said it couldn't happen. At least a dozen of those are funny, funny shows. Hell, even half of them maybe. Maybe 210 of them are bangers. By the way, the Republicans mopped the floor with the Democrats in the congressional baseball game. Not that anybody pays attention to that, unless somebody's out there gunning people down. But I think it was the Republicans won the congressional baseball game 13-2. So I say to the Democrats, you absolutely need to get some better ringers on your team. You've got to get somebody. The Republicans have won like the last 5 years in a row or something. It's a pathetic, pathetic exhibition. They've been doing that since the early 1900s, just for the record. Alicia, subscribe. What are you doing? Get to it. So the Marines are about to be deployed into LA, by the way. Those Marines, they've been talking about the Marines forever, but they haven't actually been deployed into Los Angeles. Even the National Guard troops were like kind of just stationed at one or two spots. But that will be happening this weekend. So that means when I'm looking at the map, like Los Angeles has big potential for craziness this weekend, but so does Washington, where you're going to have that military parade for Trump. So does New York, Chicago, and some of these other cities where they've had these big events, ICE protests. It's going to be wild, I think. I might do a stream. Okay, we're coming back. Come on, let's do it.
Day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the Summer Splash with new Nissans from 18.9 at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Join the show. Send your dispatch now at thenewsjunkie.com. This
Subscribers only on the TNJ Discord will be Secret Show 420, and things are going to get weird. If you're not a subscriber, go do it. Get over on the website. When you subscribe to Secret Shows, you can claim a magnet. You'll get a random magnet sent to you to play a game of magnets, and you'll be in on the action. So unlock the world of Secret Shows. Go to thenewsjunkie.com right now. All right. I've got a bunch of things I want to talk about here. One is, I censored this. I hope there's no curse words in it. All right, I did the best that I could here. I'm trying, okay? But
Josh, you're allowed to hit the dump button if some curses get out there.
Oh, that's
do you know
very
where it
nice
is?
of
Do you know where the dump button is back at HQ?
It's the one that's, how do you spell dump?
It's with a D. I'll just spot you that. But don't press it now. You don't want to hit it now because that could be problematic.
Hit it 3 times right now.
Damn it, man. Now nobody heard anything I said, but there is a supercut that's going around of all of these young women. It's mostly young women, at least. And they seem to be on social media platforms, mostly TikTok.
Facebook.
They're telling you
Instagram,
what
Twitter,
to think, what you need to think about all of these protests going around around the country. And they're all saying exactly the same thing. It's like they got a script or something. One thing they're saying is first of all, everybody uses their different lingo. So you don't say illegal, right? They say undocumented or whatever. I say illegal immigrants because they're immigrants who are in the country illegally, and that seems fine. Some people say illegal aliens, which I think is like really trying to go as far as you can and be like,
that's old school.
They're not even humans. They're aliens. So I think
alien sounds more dehumanizing than saying illegal versus undocumented.
Yeah, it sounds weird. I don't like that myself. But they all say like undocumented. Like it's the there you fixed it moment where people will go, don't call them hobos, Sean. They're actually not even homeless people. They're unhoused people. And then you go, damn, word Karen, congratulations. You absolutely fixed the problem. All the rest of us were trying to sort things out, but you really got to the core of it here. And so all of these women made these videos, and they're all saying like almost the same thing over and over. I don't know if they got a script around or one of them went viral and they just said, let's start doing that. But here's what happened. Here's a couple of these.
Being in a country that you're in illegally is a civil offense, not a criminal one. You know what else is a civil offense?
What?
Jaywalking.
And being undocumented is not a criminal offense. It's a civil one. And if you've ever jaywalked, congratulations, because you've also committed a civil offense.
Have you ever sped over the speed limit?
No.
Have you ever drank or smoked?
That's kind of how it works.
Have you ever drank and then driven a car? What about jaywalking?
Being undocumented in America is
hold on, pause. Is she trying to imply that drinking and driving is just such a everybody does it crime?
Yes, it is.
And also it's a civil offense, so I'm like good to do it, kind of.
She wasn't one of the ones saying civil offense, but it still felt like she thought, and she wasn't one of the ones saying jaywalking either, so it's hard to lump that comment in with everything else. But it's like, have you ever drinking and driven? Then you're just as bad, and I'm picking this crime because everybody does it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like jaywalking is so trivial, so insignificant. When you say that these people are committing a crime, it's like pathetic. You've done the same thing. And it's like, no.
I agree. Jaywalking is the lowest on the rung of offenses.
Yeah,
I literally jaywalked to the courthouse on Tuesday.
That's why they're saying jaywalking. Of course, that's why they're saying jaywalking, because if you respond with, well, yes, there's a reason why these people are being arrested. It's because they're breaking the law. They're illegally entering this country. And then people will be, it's actually a civil offense. That's not true. It's a criminal offense to overstay your welcome in this country, whether it's on a visa overstay or
it's a criminal offense to overstay your welcome at my house.
Or at least it should be. But they all are doing the same thing. Like, it's just like jaywalking.
It's not a criminal one.
It is.
It's the same caliber of crime as a traffic offense.
Just a reminder, in case anyone forgot, being undocumented is a civil offense.
All of them saying the same thing.
If you've so much as littered on public property, I never want to hear, oh, but they broke a law, as a justification for your hate.
If these influencers are choosing not to use their platforms, let's force them to. I'm tired of all these influencers not speaking up right now because things are happening right now in our own backyards, and some of these people are staying quiet.
Oh, shut up. Jesus Christ. You absolute narcissist. Filming yourself in the passenger seat or the driver's seat of your car, and you're like, I'm going to tell them, I'm going to give them the what for. How dare you not have an opinion on this? Influencers, speak up, and your silence is violence. All of these nerds, all of these people, they're all digital Karens is what they are. We don't like the way you're responding to this, so we're gonna take you down somehow, is his message.
I'm taking note of clocking in and following every single LA-based creator who is completely ignoring what's going on.
Where the are all these loudmouth celebrities and influencers when they get on this internet and they dropping music, or they're dropping a collab, or they're dropping a beauty kit, or they're dropping a perfume? Baby, people are getting snatched up in the United States of America.
Dude, chill out, okay? Baby. Relax. Deep breath. They're all mad at the influencers. They're all following the same script. The influencers are not speaking up, and that's a problem.
Los Angeles, and you're not willing to protect
I could barely hear her.
for the beating heart of Los
Sorry.
If you are okay with the things going on in the United States right now, please unfollow me and never speak to me again.
This is the one that I see over and over. I've seen 4 or 5 please unfollow me's in the last 24 hours. Like, if you still like what's happening right now, please unfollow me. If you're against Trump and what's happening here, please unfollow me. It's like, Jesus Christ, all you sanctimonious online people, really, just chill out for a hot second. It goes on for another 2 minutes and 15 seconds of them saying the same exact thing over and over and over again, like they're following a script. But I'm not sure. You never know where this stuff comes from. An email coming in, so let's get to this. tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Samantha says, hi, News Junkie crew. Podcast listener here, so apologies if this has not been covered. Also, apologies for the length. I'll move on. You've been covering the protests/riots across the country in response to ICE. Sean, you mentioned briefly that you personally don't believe that people who have lived here for a few years peacefully should be deported. That is the majority of immigrants living in the country, so I think it's important to clarify what's actually happening in these removal actions and why there's such a heightened response. Pause. I'll pause on you there. So, yes, that is true, but my point is I blame the politicians, because politicians, for tens of years, for a very long time, for decades and decades and decades. A lot of them, Democrats, have had a policy of just letting people come across the border. Hey, we'll stamp something for you. You show back at a court hearing later. A lot of them don't show up. They know what they're doing. They knew that people were going to be getting into this country illegally and then setting up routes. And then the optics of removing the people that they allowed in were going to be horrific, because you allow somebody to illegally enter the country instead of securing the border. And once they come in, then removing them, you look like the monster for doing this thing. That's the whole point. That is the whole point of all this strategy. It is no different than the strategy that Republicans had, where they say, oh, yeah, well, when they come in the country illegally, we're going to put them on a bus and bring them to your city, so you see what it's like to deal with an influx of these people. Those things are very, very similar in terms of what the outcomes actually look like. But they say, for context, I'm a law student and work in the law currently. Immigration law is a very complicated area of the law, largely left to congressional discretion, but each executive has limited discretion as to how they enforce those policies. Blah, blah, blah. Additionally, to hit quotas for deportation, individuals showing up to their hearings only to have prosecutors dismiss the case, ICE is then waiting outside to arrest them. There are concerns about the due process legalities, but ultimately the Supreme Court has historically granted discretion in the area of immigration. Yeah, I mean, we don't even need to go over this back and forth. I think the idea that the president wouldn't have discretion on immigration is crazy. Like, if the president has power over anything, it's immigration into the country. That should be a very, very basic power to enforce that the president of the United States would have in this country. So thank you for the email. Overall, I don't understand exactly what your point was, other than that you think this is maybe bad in some way, which I don't disagree with you. I think it sucks. I think it sucks so bad for somebody to have left the country that was bad and miserable for them, gone into a country that they thought was going to be great and prosperous, set down roots, gotten a job, had a kid, done all these things, and then all of a sudden they get ousted. That sucks. That's why I said if I was one of those people, I would probably never deport myself. I would never do any of these things. I do want people who are in this country illegally and then get arrested for a crime to be adios amigoed immediately. I want those people to be out of here. But I'm sort of a little bit more lenient in terms of how I would handle it for somebody already here. It's hard not to have some kind of empathy for them, at least in my position.
I mean, It's even more so than we always joke about, and it's usually a joke. But whenever we hear about somebody that has been has escaped prison and was caught 60 years later or something like that, and you're like, wait a second, the guy's been on the run for that long and you haven't caught him? Feels unfair to send him back to prison by now.
He's not used to living in prison anymore.
Right, but and this is totally a completely different situation. I get it.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one. And I really do feel for any of these families who haven't committed like an additional crime above being in the country just illegally. And I think that will motivate a lot of people this weekend to go out. But it's been too long that the border has just been completely chaos, and that millions and millions and millions and millions of people have flooded in. And that you have, for instance, I see some of these people at the protests in Los Angeles, and they go, my family is from here. Los Angeles is a majority Hispanic city, which is true. It's true. And they're like, this is Mexico. The United States stole Mexico. And it's like Los Angeles in the 70s, which isn't that long ago, was like 80% non-Hispanic whites, right? Like, this is not something where they've always been in this territory and just now people are trying to remove them. It's like, no, this has been for about 50 years, policies of just letting people come into the southwestern United States and then spread throughout the rest of the country. And eventually, there's a lot of bleeding there, and it becomes more of an issue. But everybody's got their thoughts. We'll get to some more of those when we come back. We got to talk to our friend Mo. Moses DeWitt will be joining us when we return. We got some legal questions for him. Some of them about stuff I've seen in the past week or so. Some of them that C-Lane's got on the list. And a whole lot more. So all of that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
I've never even seen cocaine. I don't even know what it looks like. I just know it's powdery. I've never seen it.
Show them.
I'm like I got to be one of the only guys in this business that came through the 90s that never, ever even saw cocaine.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a disabled truck getting cleared up on the ramp from Alafia Trail to State Road 408 westbound. The right lane's blocked on the ramp from State Road 408 westbound to I-4 there. Traffic starting to pile up on I-4 through the city. Keep an eye out for an accident off to the shoulder on I-4 eastbound before Princeton Street there. The roadways are getting busy, so travel with caution. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected when it matters most. Be prepared with Rapid Radio's walkie-talkies. With instant push-to-talk and LTE nationwide coverage, you can reach family and friends in any emergency. 100% private, no contracts, no hassle.
Stay safe. Order now at rapidradios.com.
Capital One cardholders can score their iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets right now before anyone else. Tickets are only available while pre-sale tickets last or until tomorrow, June 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's not all. Add a Capital One Access Pass to your pre-sale purchase to attend an exclusive pre-concert event with a private performance from LL Cool J on Friday or Jelly Roll on Saturday. Only available during the cardholder pre-sale.
Pre-sale tickets are limited and will go fast. So visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One to buy now.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, streaming live only on Hulu.
Hey, everybody, with rainy season on the way, you want to make sure your roof is solid as a rock, protecting you and your family. Nobody wants that more than my friends over at Eustace Roofing. Now, it is Eustace Roofing, but they cover all of Central Florida. And these guys have the experience you want, in business since 1959, that's protecting Florida homes for over 65 years. In 2021, they were the National Roofing Company of the Year, and they run the cleanest work site in the business. And they have no interest financing available. Contact your trusted roofing advisor for a quote today at eustaceroofing.com.
Yes, it's true that most injury attorneys don't cost you a dime unless they get you money for your injuries. I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. It pains me to hear people still don't know that you don't have to pay me up front. Never deal with the insurance companies alone. They have a team of lawyers, and you should have a team too. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com or call me at 1-800-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Office, Orlando.
Greenway Kia is under new management with 3 convenient locations across Central Florida and one of the area's largest inventories. We want to see you in a Kia. Upgrade your summer adventure in a hot new 2025 Kia K4 LXS. Lease it for $119 a month for 24 months with $36.25 due at signing and 0 security deposit. I'm Joe Rossi, and I want to see you in a Kia. Click or visit greenwaykias.com today.
Qualified applicants through KFA includes $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, plus tax, title, license, $899 dealer, $249.50 doc fee. Expire 7/15/25.
Future Health weight loss.
Can't afford Ozempic? Think again. Future Health offers Wegovy for $199. It's Ozempic, but FDA approved for weight loss. Get this limited time deal at futurehealth.com today for the best price on the market. No insurance needed, no tricky syringes, just faster weight loss. Visit futurehealth.com, future without the E, to start losing weight this week.
Future Health weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Quitting tobacco is hard, but it's also hard to deal with a cough that won't go away and thinking it's lung cancer, or feeling your heart race after a walk and wondering if it's a heart attack, or telling your family you may not be around to see your next birthday.
Quitting tobacco is hard, but the consequences are even harder. Tobacco-Free Florida has free resources to help you stay smoke-free. You may be eligible to receive free nicotine patches, gum, or lozenges. Call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW or visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
When your company earns unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases with Capital One, that's serious business. So Stephen at SandCloud got a serious business card, the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One.
We used our 2% cash back to help build our retail presence.
Savvy, Stephen.
And we get big purchasing power, so our business can spend more and earn more.
The Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your favorite artists?
In your library.
Your favorite songs?
In your playlist.
But your favorite morning show?
They make me laugh every day. Or your favorite team in action. Oh my goodness, he caught it!
Or your live local news, traffic, and weather?
Implications from coast to coast.
Yep, there's an app for all that too.
iHeartRadio.
We're not just streaming music, we're streaming moments.
Everyone wants to be here. Join the millions of Americans.
And add us to your entertainment lineup now. Download the #1 app for radio.
The free iHeartRadio app.
Most impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors are installed in just 6 to 8 weeks. Visit reesewindows.com.
The show that takes you from Skywall summer to Jack Rocket fall.
As you might be called elsewhere. Send a dispatch with your thoughts. Video or audio dispatch is welcome. Record yours over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. Our friend Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm joins us now. There he is.
Good day.
Yay. Looks great. Good to have Moses here in studio. Mo, you missed out on something, and this is a rare miss for you. You don't usually miss out on the branding opportunities.
Try not to.
But there is one that you missed out on that I just saw today. You guys remember?
Wait, when you say he missed out, is there still not opportunity to do it?
No, it's too late, I think.
Ship has sailed?
Unbelievable.
I think the ship has sailed.
I blame Fowler.
Do you guys remember the Oliver Anthony guy, the Richmond, north of Richmond?
Yeah.
That guy, he got broken up with, and he thought that he hated politicians in Washington, but it turns out he hates divorce more.
Yeah.
And so he wrote a new song, and it's like the divorce anthem. So like now,
I hate my wife.
Yeah, he's not mad about the politicians or the swamp or any of that anymore. Now he's just pissed off at his ex in a song called "Scornful Woman," and he sings in this song. And now the middle of the day is like the middle of the night, and the court says 50-50, but the math don't seem right with the scornful woman. Sings Anthony in the song. She can have all the money and they can keep all the fame. I'd go back to being broke as a joke if I could just get a break from the pain. So the whole thing is about like he was a random nobody redneck loser dude who hated the politicians and wrote an anthem about them that worked for some people. They even played it before the presidential debates and stuff. And that song was everywhere. I guess he made some money. He got elevated to fame and stuff. Then the woman he was with divorced him, and he realized he hates that even more than politics. He is just not a fan. Mo, you could have got like a justcallmo.com line in that song.
That would have been nice.
Would have been massive.
He's so angry, though. I don't know. Do we want such anger surrounding us?
I want to play the song, but you know how it goes. I don't even know. Like, have you seen the song, C-Lane, or no?
I see the lyrics. There's not cursing in it this time. Like when he got that one song that we had to dump you like 3 times because you kept saying bull s.
Oh, okay. I see it here. All right, 2.2 million views. This is like his house in Virginia.
Well, she got a side to her I want to run from. She'll turn a warm afternoon into a cold, cold one.
I still say I like his voice. I know some people don't. I know they hate on this guy and they get mad at him, but Now he's really upset. He's really pissed.
Well, he grabbed the apple and Adam took a bite. And now all these years later, and the mask still ain't right with the scorn.
Oh, he's got a full band now.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of other guys rocking out who also probably went through some divorces. It's quite a time right now.
Because they wouldn't stop doing band stuff.
Yeah, that'll break you up right there. We almost had that happen with Ice Panda. Yeah. We almost had the same thing happen with our band, Mo. It's brutal. Brutal out there. All right, I got an email for you if you don't mind. This is from Anonymous, Mo. You willing to entertain Anonymous's question?
I guess.
It says, Dear the News Junkies, please keep me anonymous. This past Friday, Lucas wrote in and asked if there was any way for him to fight a speeding ticket for going 30 in a 15-mile-per-hour school zone when the regular speed limit is 35. You added it to the list for Mo. I, too, would like to hear Mo's thoughts on this. I'm an aficionado of school zones in the state of Florida. All features of a justified school zone must be in place for the reduced speed to be enforceable. Additionally, the city or county must follow a prescribed procedure to activate traffic infraction devices or speed cameras. From what Lucas described, the school zone that he was ticketed for exceeded the reduced ticketed for exceeding the reduced speed limit is not compliant, because the school zone in Florida can be posted 15 miles per hour, blah, blah, blah. This is like a whole thing. Regardless, please do not speed in school zone and work zones. They're very vulnerable places. Now, I can't remember what the first guy said. This is like a response to the first guy's email. But speeding in school zones, is there any wiggle room there? Can you get around this? Or is it like school zone, bad place to speed, you're going to have a bad time?
So what's this guy's point?
I don't know. It's hard to understand. See, I don't even know if I could bring up the other one.
Don't worry about it. So, I mean, but it's a speeding
Lucas.
ticket just like anything else, right? I mean,
yeah, hang on.
If you're speeding, you're speeding. Yeah, of course, there may be defenses depending what's going on.
Okay.
Or if they didn't, properly calibrate their radar gun or whatever it may be. There's always defenses and ways to challenge it.
I know one of
it's not the easiest.
One of the common ones for a while was if you were, if they did not use a radar gun and you were instead paced, which means like the cop
tails you basically, sees how fast you're going,
maintains your speed. I think there was a loophole people were using where the police officer had to prove that his speedometer had been calibrated at some sort of interval that they're supposed to have their cruisers checked up on.
Yeah, and that they went through the training to properly pace cars, and when did they have the last training, and so on and so forth.
Here's Lucas's actual email to get down to the bottom of this, because that was hard to understand. Hey, News Junkie. This week, the school by my house installed speed cameras in front of the school zone. At first, I thought it was a good idea. But then I got a ticket from the cameras. The speed limit is 35 before the school zone, and it drops down to 15. According to the camera, I was going 30, but in the photo, you can see that I'm pressing my brakes to slow down. Is there any way to fight this ticket, or am I going to have to just take a different way around this stupid camera? Thanks, Lucas.
So I think his question was kind of, are the speed cameras legal? And speed cameras are now legal in Florida school zones. So that we allow speed cameras solely in in school zones, allowing for automated enforcement of speed limits. And so that was passed in 2023.
Okay. So he's not going to be, pay the ticket.
I mean, I'll try to challenge it, but
it is very difficult to drive 15 miles an hour. Like just 15 miles an hour.
I know. I had a guy in my neighborhood. I'd never scream at anybody, never honk. Courtney's driving, and I go, you can honk. You can. This dude was going through the neighborhood at 12 miles per hour. I was losing my mind.
Whoa, Sean. Is your speedometer calibrated, and have you been properly trained on pacing people?
I could tell. I could have got out and walked faster than this loser in the minivan was going. It was infuriating to me for once. Mo, we talked just earlier that we talked about these companies that have AI generation tools. You go onto their website, Google has it, a company named Midjourney has it, all these other companies have it, and then you say, I want to see a man with his head exploding, and then it makes you a little video of a man with his head exploding. And they're getting sued now from some of the bigwigs like Universal and Disney because they said, we can go on there and generate something that looks exactly like Yoda, and we have the copyright on Yoda. I think Sealand was sort of trying to work this out. The AI companies are going to say, we build generative tools. We don't tell people what to put in. If they put in something that's copyrighted, then take issue with them for what they created, but not for us because we created the tool that they used to make this copyright violation. Is that like something that hasn't really been hashed out in court because AI is so new, or do you think that they could be shut down, or what do you think that might look like?
Well, I think you're right. It hasn't been hashed out yet in court. The technology is too new, and the law is always behind technology. I think the question becomes is how is the AI generating this? Is it using bits and pieces from the internet, from the actual video to generate it? But even if it's generating, let's just break it down into simple terms. Let's say you hire an artist to create, by hand or computer generated or whatever it may be, to recreate Yoda.
All right.
Well, that's still copyright infringement, right? So it doesn't matter how it was created.
Mm-hmm.
If you're infringing on the copyright or on the trademark, then you're still infringing. So the question is going to be whether these companies are liable for it or not. And that we kind of saw this previously with some of these social media platforms. And you can probably remember the name of the act better than I can at this point, where federal law essentially was passed that said social media platforms are not liable for what people post on there.
Uh-huh.
It's the content of the poster. They kind of had immunity. There was the Takedown Act. So as long as they can send that notice to like YouTube if there's a video on there that infringes on a copyright, and YouTube has the opportunity to take it down before they can be sued for it.
Section 230, I think.
It's something like that. So I would assume some sort of law is going to catch up here with this AI that's somewhat similar, that says, the generation company isn't maybe liable for it, but maybe they have to have some sort of terms of service, or if there's things that if you ask it to generate Yoda or something like that, then maybe that's not permitted. Who knows exactly where it's going to go?
Shouldn't it only be illegal when you try to put it out there in some way? Like, so for instance, if I go to Midjourney's website and I say, give me SpongeBob smoking a blunt on the beach, and then I'm trying to make a happy birthday card for Josh Fowler, right?
That's nice. I love Sponge Blunt.
I got Spongy, and he's huffing on that Hoover, and
SpongeBob Marley.
Yeah, SpongeBob Marley. He's got the reggae things going on. He's perfect, right? I've created that for myself.
Dreads?
Yeah,
that's got reggae things.
I don't. It's cultural appropriation. So I just call them reggae things. When you look at this, if I created that on my own and printed it out and kept it at my house or whatever, that probably wouldn't be violating copyright because it's just a thing for me. Shouldn't it only be a copyright violation if somebody tries to release it as like a movie or a video or some sort of creation that they put out there for other people, not just themselves?
Well, I believe there is a provision if it's transformative of the original work and it's solely for artistic purposes, meaning not used for profit, then there may be an exception to it. But that's going to be on a case-by-case basis. There have been a lot of lawsuits over, what is transformative.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tough one that people always, what's fair use, what's transformative? For those of you who don't know, if you are creating content, you can't just play somebody else's content. You have to be utilizing it in a way where it's deemed fair use, which is kind of not completely set in stone what that means to begin with. And the copyright stuff is kind of similar to that. Like you can do things where it's satire and you can get away with using copyrighted characters, or you can do things sometimes for yourself personally. It's just all very new. So maybe these cases will lead the way there. We'll see what you think. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com right now. When we come back, jury duty is on the way. We'll get into that. We got somebody in a Christian rock band in very big trouble. What did they do? Wait till you hear this. That and a bunch more coming up next on the News Junkie.
You text us at 77031 and we say it on the air. Sometimes.
We might even give you credit.
Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Fair Winds Credit Union.
Mandatory minicamps in the NFL continue. The Jaguars, Dolphins, and Buccaneers finishing up their camps today. Hockey tonight. After dominating Game 3, the Panthers looking to keep the momentum. They host the Oilers in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Panthers are up 2-1. At the NBA Finals, the Pacers take a 2-1 series lead, outscoring the Thunder 32-18 in the fourth quarter to take Game 3. I'm Matt McCoy.
Fairwinds Credit Union. Whether you need personal or business accounts to help you reach your goals, they've got you covered. Visit fairwinds.org to join their community of financial freedom seekers today. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
This weekend, the Real Radio Summer of Laughs continues with the Real Comedy Mount Dora Summer Nights series. Get ready for a night of nonstop laughs this Saturday at the Mount Dora Music Hall, starring the Orlando Weekly Awards multi-time comedian of the year, Ross Padgett. The evening will feature Kevin Dean, Joel Warren, AJ Klein, hosted by the one and only Angela Boom from Monsters in the Morning. And you can see all that go down featuring Ross Padgett this Saturday, June 14th, Mount Dora Music Hall. Doors at 7, shows at 8, and you can get your tickets today at realradio.fm/comedy.
What's up, fellas? Russ Rollins here. Get real testosterone prescribed by the doctors at Red Mountain Weight Loss. More men are suffering from low T than ever, thanks to stress, poor diet, and lifestyle. This is a serious health issue, but I tell you what, if you're feeling tired, you're feeling sluggish, you lose your mental focus all the time, if you're having trouble in the bedroom, you probably have low T. The solution is prescription strength testosterone, because nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. Increasing your testosterone will give you more energy. I know. It'll help you build muscle mass. It'll help you sleep better. It improves your mental focus, and it'll boost your sex drive. It's a complete game changer. Testosterone also helps you lose and maintain your proper weight. So go to the trusted leader in health solutions for men and women, Red Mountain Weight Loss. Their experienced medical team has helped people optimize their hormones for over 30 years now, and now they can help you too. Book your free video consultation with a licensed doctor today. Have low T? Start for free this month only at Red Mountain. Go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Eye Candy Energy Drink. The official drink of the summer is here. 3 delicious flavors: original, sugar-free, and sugar-free cotton candy. Get yours at eyecandyenergydrink.com. Eye Candy Energy Drink.
The future is bright. RC Hill here. It's graduation season, but you can leave the cap and gown at home, because this month I'm helping people graduate from their old ride. That's right, I'll help you save up to $10,000 on a new Mitsubishi with a lifetime warranty. So if you're ready for a fresh start, then graduate from your old ride, and I'll pay you way over appraised value regardless of miles or condition. You can even drive the redesigned 2025 Outlander top safety picked and Yamaha sound system, or the new Mirage, 43 miles per gallon lifetime warranty starting at only $15,900. Plus, here at RCO Mitsubishi, we're all about affordability. We'll work hard to help you find a car you love for only $1 down. So ditch your old ride like the last day of class and save up to $10,000. Plus, I've got over 200 certified used cars, SUVs, trucks, and sports cars, and rates as low as 0%. But hurry, pre-tariff prices won't last long. I'm RC Hill, DeLand, and Ocala. See all my rides at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit and $1 down requires bank approval. Trade value up to 120% off KBB.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
Orlando, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
iHeartRadio just gave driving an upgrade with Presets, now on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Your go-to stations, podcasts, and playlists, all just a tap away on your dash. Start your engine, hit play, and drive happy. Free with iHeartRadio on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Stay connected and stay productive with Rapid Radios. Business owners trust Rapid Radios for instant, reliable team communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected's never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Wassy's Meat Market, the best place to buy a big green egg.
No one's really sure what all C-Lane's buttons actually do. This is the news.
Too long. Closing statements in the Karen Reed trial, so, we'll see what happens with that soon. I got a feeling they might get her this time. I got a feeling she might be in some trouble. She might not get that hung jury this time, but we shall see.
The documentary has anything to do with it?
I think the documentary had more to do with the hung jury. I think it had to do with people thinking it's like good old boys versus Karen Reed and the cops versus the not cops, and I think this time they've kind of calmed it down and they got more evidence in. And it's so clear to me, at least, when I look at this. Like so many other stories, I go, I have no idea what happened. I can't get it. But then there's stories where you could see pretty clearly, like Karen Reed got drunk, was arguing with this dude she was with, ran into him in the driveway, left his body on the snow, and he died. Like, seems that easy, but didn't work last time, so does she get off again? We'll see. I think she might have more trouble this time. All right, we got a friend, Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. I kind of stumbled through that. Let's try it again. I got my friend and your friend, Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm, joining us in the studio today. Mo, lots of stuff to talk about. We'll get back into this in a moment. But I did see this could solve the problem for all of our protesters this weekend. They're launching the Trump card. They got an official website and everything. The gold card to get into the country is now up at trumpcard.gov.
I'm going.
It's not a very fancy website. I'm not going to lie to you. It looks a little bit dated and simple.
Is this going to be the same card? Because didn't Trump show one of the cards on Air Force One? He was like, "This is the first one. I got the card."
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. Now it says the Trump card is coming. Enter your information below to be notified when the moment access opens. And it says 5 million, United States of America, 5 million, the Trump card. And you put in your info. My name is, and I'm interested in blah, blah, blah.
I swear, I think they might have used Squarespace for this.
Yeah, they could. It's the most simple website I've ever seen. It says on the top, though, an official website of the United States government. Like, it's a very, very basic ass website for $5 million visas that are for sale. And everybody grab these if you don't want to leave. I mean, it seems like it'll lock you in.
Speaking of which, because something kind of clicked in my head when Josh said Squarespace. Does the White House still have its own version of the Drudge Report? Or is anybody reading that?
I think they do.
That fake Drudge Report?
White House Drudge Report website. I don't know if I'll be able to bring it up. That's the actual Drudge Report website that's boring these days. White House Wire? I think that's it. Yeah, this is it. This is it. The White House Wire. Let's see what the top news is over here. Trump tells soldiers... Oh, got it. Pop up. Trump tells soldiers we will liberate Los Angeles. WH Wire. And it's just link crazy, man.
But it's still just an absolute ripoff, especially the top of the Drudge Report.
Definitely. Yeah, it's just like links and pictures, exactly like the Drudge Report actually is. All right, here we go. It's time to do it, friends. We have arrived, and now It's time to do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. Mo!
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at this guy together here, all right? This gentleman who is in the back of a police car or some sort of law enforcement vehicle here, you might be able to see over on this screen. He is one of the people who showed up during the LA protests/riots, and he had a vehicle full of riot masks and other things that he was giving out to the people on the streets. And apparently now they have arrested this guy, and they say that he's going to be facing some charges for this. So the question I have is, if you're somebody who wants to go help people out who are protesting or at one of these events, maybe you support them. Maybe you want to bring water to them, or you go, oh, I don't want your eyes to get hit with pepper spray. Here's a riot mask I'm going to bring you. What are the laws around stuff like this? And can he, it seems like he obviously can get arrested and go to jail here.
I mean, I'm not aware of any laws that would prevent somebody from handing out gear, protection, whatever it may be. I mean, what's the difference between selling it to somebody at a store, and the person says, I'm going to go use this for a riot, or handing it out?
True.
You know, and what does the law say? I mean, obviously this is California, right?
Yeah.
So it's not here. It's not Florida law. But maybe there's a law in California that prohibits somebody from, helping people in a riot. I don't know the answer to that.
Here's what I have for you from the U.S. Attorney, Bill Asaley. He says, arrested. Alessandro Theodoro Orellano was arrested this morning on allegation of conspiracy to commit civil disorders. 18 U.S.C. 371.
Sounds
18
very
U.S.C. 371.
like a wide casted net.
Yeah, conspiracy to commit civil disorders for distributing face shields to suspected rioters on Tuesday. We're moving quickly to identify and arrest those involved in organizing or supporting civil disorder in Los Angeles. That seems weird. I mean, we could look up that exact law, 18 U.S.C. 371, but...
Couldn't you be in trouble, Moses, if this person was handing out stuff that was bulletproof and they were a convicted felon? Because I've seen a lot of cases in where, a convicted felon who no longer has their Second Amendment rights has been charged with having a bulletproof vest, which I think it seems unfair that you wouldn't be able to protect yourself, but they would lob a bulletproof vest in with some sort of prohibited weaponry.
Yeah, I mean, generally it is illegal for a convicted felon to own or possess a bulletproof vest, just like they can't own or possess a gun. I think the thought process behind that was we don't want them sort of engaging in activities where there's guns around, you're now doing whatever.
We don't want them to be unstoppable.
I know. It just seems weird because to Celine's point, it's like, that is not a weapon. That is like a protection thing more than anything. That, to me, a bulletproof vest is a thing that is not an act of violence.
No, it's not. And there are some exceptions to it if it's required for your employment, if you're working for a security company or something like that. You can get specific permission to have one. So there are some specific exemptions that do allow for it. But for the most part, it's illegal.
To go back to the guy who apparently handed out these masks and other things to people who are participating in the LA riots, the law that they pointed out, Mo, says if two or more persons conspire either to commit any offense against the United States or to defraud the United States or any agency thereof in any manner for any purpose, and one or more of such persons do any act to affect the object of the conspiracy, each shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both. So up to 5 years, it looks like, is the charge. But that's really kind of loose
a reach.
language.
That's a stretch.
Is this, I believe, I don't know if you're with me on this, I think some of the things they're doing are trying to deter similar behavior elsewhere, and they don't even actually know if they're going to get a conviction on this or anything. They just want people to not do it, so they're like,
there may be that. There may be just they want this guy out of there, and they're going to arrest him and haul him off and
figure it out.
Figure it out later. Yeah,
it's unfortunately that's the way it can work sometimes. All right, let us know what you think about this. We will get to you and your dispatches next, in fact, on the show. That's a great way to join us. It's super simple for you to do. I hope you do it right now. We'll get to this Christian rocker who is in big trouble with a shocking admission and many, many more things. Plus,
Christian rocker shocker coming up next on the backside.
It's a perfect rhyme. I like it, and it works, and that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Tickets for the 2025 Real Radio Charity Poker Tournament presented by JustCallMo.com go on sale June 17th. Details at realradio.fm/poker.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Keep an eye out for emergency crews on the roadways, clearing up an accident on I-4 westbound near Florida's Turnpike. That's off to the shoulder there. There's a crash getting cleared up on the ramp from Alafaya Trail to State Road 408 westbound. Expect some rainy conditions on the roadways this afternoon, reduced visibility and slippery roadways. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected when it matters most. Be prepared with Rapid Radio's walkie-talkies. With instant push-to-talk and LTE nationwide coverage, you can reach family and friends in any emergency. 100% private, no contracts, no hassle.
Stay safe. Order now at rapidradios.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Looking to save some? Then contact Eustace Roofing. You can save up to $2,000 on a full roof replacement from now through June 16. As hurricane season begins, ask for the premium roof package. Get a free estimate at eustaceroofing.com.
iHeartMedia presents the Fresh from Florida Groceries Giveaway. 50 lucky winners will each receive a $100 grocery voucher to indulge in Fresh from Florida goodness. Enter to win at iHeart.com/freshfromflorida.
What is the cost of doing nothing? I don't know about you, but these months are the highest power bills of the year, and it's making me think about the years I spent without Solar Source. I'm so glad I finally have Solar Source. I started with the pool heated solar, and I love it. Thrilled that Solar Source now has a pay-as-you-go system where I can save each month starting at just $99. Want to add the battery backup system for your home? Our pay-as-you-go plan works the same. Start with a small battery that provides critical backup power for your lights and your refrigerator, and then it does all these small loads, and then you could stack them and add more energy as time goes on. It's Solar Source.
Greenway Kia is under new management, and we've got a whole new attitude. With 3 great locations across Metro Orlando and one of the area's largest selections, we truly want to see you in a Kia. Plus, we want your trade. Get up to $10,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair market value for any trade. Get your fast free appraisal online right now at greenwaykias.com. I'm Joe Rossi, and I want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, East Colonial, West Colonial, and 1792 North.
All factory rebates to dealer. Negative equity refinanced.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Sunnyside Electric.
Hello, I need a new electrical outlet.
We are learning about pickleball today.
Okay.
Isn't that a funny name?
What about my electrical?
Pickleball.
I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, it's like miniature tennis.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you need electrical work in your home, you need a trustworthy electrician who can clearly explain how to solve any dilemma. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when a professional practice or a small business is involved and, of course, on the line. At Cordell & Cordell, we know the years of work that you've invested and what's at stake. For over 35 years, we've helped guide doctors, lawyers, and business owners through the complex process to protect their businesses that they've spent their lives building. Call Cordell & Cordell today because your business is more than a job, it's your legacy.
Orlando, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
People are loving what's happening now at IDC. Free financing till the year 2030. That's right. Now for a limited time, you can get the lowest finance rates in America. 0% for 5 whole years on just about every piece of jewelry in our showroom. So you can get that $8,000 engagement ring and pay just $134 a month. Or that $4,000 pair of diamond stud earrings, just $67 a month. International Diamond Center makes it happen with this incredible limited time offer. Just pick any item and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, designer jewelry, colored gemstones, even certified diamonds are included. Whether your budget is $2,000 or $200,000, this is the smartest way to buy. Hurry in to take advantage of this once-a-year event. 0% financing rates till 2030. Store-wide. Only at International Diamond Center. Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got questions after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along. This is the...
About the world and all the things that we're seeing around it right now. Bad examples can kill an entire movement. No doubt about this. Bad examples can kill an entire movement. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about here. So, for instance, if you want ICE and the federal government to not deport people in this country illegally, if you don't want them going around scurrying into workforces and going to these different factories and stuff and rounding up all the people working illegally, if you don't want that to happen, you're going to want to be careful about the examples you use. And people are so bad at this. Like, for a while, they were going, no, this guy got deported. And you go, well, hang on. That guy actually seems like he's legit a bad guy. Like, this person seems like they're attached to some really bad stuff. Why are you fighting for this person so hard? Meanwhile, I know.
He had the tattoo. It was written right on his hand.
I come in contact with people who are legitimately people who have come to this country illegally. They are the most proud Americans I've ever met in my life. These people, a lot of them who come from Mexico, are incredibly hardworking, and they have families and kids and stuff. And I guarantee you, every single one of the people who are out there saying, like, build a wall, we need to enforce the border, which I'm in agreement with you on those things. We need to have ICE. We need to have these things operating. We cannot have the lawlessness of the border that we've seen for decades and decades and decades. I get it. But I challenge you, when you actually meet one of these families to be like, piss off, you should go back where you came from. And they've got like kids and they got jobs and they got... That's real life any with this, but they often
you say that as though everybody is a good person.
Not everybody, but I think most people.
I know. I not know personally, but I've seen people on Facebook who would 100% walk into a loving family's house and say, GTFO.
You're never going to win
out.
That person, though. That person's a fringe
I don't
lunatic.
need to win that person.
When I see that there's somebody, when I see a poll and it says like 55% of people support Trump's immigration moves, that's a lot of people. I think that many people, if they saw some of these very particular cases, would think a little bit differently about it. They go, well, not that person. But the examples that are used so often are so damn bad, it's just a catastrophe. You have to watch the examples you use. I'll give you an absolutely brutal one. This is from a politician by the name of Amy Klobuchar. All right. She's a U.S. senator from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And she introduced the world via this video to Felicia, who is a single mom of 4, who they said works up to 3 jobs. I guess she only has 1 job. She counts on SNAP, which is like a benefits program to help her put food on the table. And she's saying without these benefits, she's not going to be able to eat. She's going to starve and her family is going to starve. Bad examples matter. This woman is a very large lady. Okay. And if you have her as the example of like, I'm starving, I'm not able to get food, it's going to backfire against you. And the lady, I'm just being real. Like I'm saying,
she may be correct, but the optics are weird with
bingo.
Something like that.
Yes, Josh. Bingo. Yes, that's what my view of this is. Like that these could be. You scared to have me agree with you?
No, he just looked at her and went, oh, man.
I'm saying that there are good causes with bad examples. When you try to get some Tren de Agua gangster as your example for somebody who should be able to stay in the United States, kiss my ass, deport that guy. Adios, muchacho. See you later. But then I talk about the families and people who are hardworking out there and who want to be more American than a lot of the people protesting on the streets this weekend. A lot of these people who hate America, who hate America's system, who think America's bad for every engagement they've been involved in, these Mexican people who are definitely here illegally that I've met, love America. I want them in and the other people out. But bad examples can hurt your cause. This woman, I'm just being real, she's a large person. This matters. Abraham Dragonfriend on Twitch says, yeah, optics matter. It's just a reality. Optics matter. You have to worry about these things. Bad examples matter. When you have all the immigration people with Mexican flags in the streets saying F off America, you ain't going to win anybody over. This lady, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to let me pump her up here.
Who
Not too
are
big.
ages 21, 17, 12, and 11. I would like to tell you my story on how SNAP benefit has helped me. Sorry.
Oh, now she don't cry. Please don't cry. It'll be more difficult. It will be way more difficult.
You're doing good.
You got this, lady.
When I had my oldest daughter 21 years ago.
All right. Bottom line, she's very upset. She's she's crying in this. Felicia, single mom of 4, who says she cannot get enough food on the table. You have to think about the fact that the person saying that they can't get food on the table looks like they've had plenty of food on the table. I'm not trying to be mean about this, but I'm just, I don't know how else to handle it. Like, all right. For example, if you were going to hire somebody and say that they were going to be the sweet bridge builder between poor people in the middle class, and you brought out like Montgomery Burns from The Simpsons or something, everyone would be like, this is the worst representative you could ever have for this. To say that you are going to end up not getting enough food in your household when it looks like you're really definitely getting enough food in your household, it's going to work against you. All of these things, I really think they should consider the people who are their representatives. All right, that's all I'm saying right now. Moses DeWitt of the DeWitt Law is with
Don't
us.
drag me in this.
Saying she's not skinny. All right, I'm saying she's not hungry. All right. The snap might not be getting to the kids, but it is getting to her. She is eating. All right, let's get to this story real quick, Moses DeWitt. There is a Christian rock band. Do you know any Christian rock bands?
Can't say that I do.
Oh, my God.
Wait. All right. Was Creed technically Christian?
Yes.
Allegedly.
All
yes.
right. And then I know we had Jars of Clay.
Definitely. Do you know Jars of Clay?
I do not.
Oh, my God.
You have Faith Plus One.
Faith Plus One is a South Park band, so that does not count for this. I'm trying to think of one that Moses might know.
Moses, you probably heard Jars of Clay on the radio like 20 years ago. They were a one-hit wonder. They had a song called Flood, but they didn't really do a whole lot after that.
No, it kind of stopped there. This is another band that I've heard of, I swear to God. And it's not because of the News Junkie, but there is a Christian rock band by the name of the Newsboys. I don't care what anybody says, I wasn't in the Newsboys. I was not a member of this Christian rock band at all, ever in history, okay? The famous Christian rock band was founded in Australia in the mid-1980s. They said they have one of the lead singers, or one of the ex-singers for the band, is a man named Michael Tait, Michael T-A-I-T. He left Nashville-based rockers, the Newsboys, in January, and he was subject of an investigation by a media outlet called the Roy's Report. They said that he groomed and sexually assaulted 3 men between 2004 and 2014. So this guy, he was a Grammy-winning band member of another Christian band called DC Talk, which you might have heard of.
Yeah, I heard that name.
He's involved in all of these like Christian rock bands over the years. And the allegations were that he groped these young men, he plied them with alcohol, he did all that stuff. And Mo, what are your thoughts on this? He came out with this statement. I'll read the statement. You tell me what you think about it, okay? The statement from this guy who was accused, this Christian music superstar. He says, of the allegations, for some 2 decades, I used and abused cocaine, consumed far too much alcohol, and at times touched men in an unwanted, sensual way. The statement was called My Confession. He said, I'm ashamed of my life choices and actions, and I make no excuses for them. I will simply call it what God calls it, a sin. I don't blame anyone or anything but myself. While I might dispute certain details in the accusations against me, I do not dispute the substance of them, he said. So he just kind of put it out there. From an attorney's perspective,
terrible idea.
This was probably not a good idea.
Terrible idea.
We're talking about these are crimes that this guy is.
They're crimes. And, he's admitting to them, but then he's saying, I dispute some of the details. So now, the prosecution's going to go into court and say, look, here's his, it's labeled My Confession.
Yeah, it literally says
he's confessing to everything we're charging him with.
Yeah. That seems.
I just wanted to stop to hear Fowler saying.
Could you get him off of the confession alone?
Well, it's not gonna help.
He says, I touched men in an unwanted, sensual way. That's literally against the law.
Right.
Like, these people are not wanting this. Pretty crazy. 59-year-old singer joined the Newsboys in 2009, replacing the earlier singer Peter Furler. It was years after that Joshua Marie Fowler joined the band as lead maraca player.
That's right.
Fowler also faces allegations, it says, but there has been no definitive statements from Fowler online as of yet.
That's because I have a good lawyer that advises against confessing.
Good move.
Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, good move. Don't think you're being the better person always. Wait until afterwards. Then you could go ahead and say, hey, guys, I really screwed the pooch on this one. This was a terrible idea on my part. More details on the dude who survived that Air India Boeing crash. They now know where he was seated on the plane, which is so crazy to see. Almost everybody died on this plane, but it exploded into a huge fireball. They said he jumped out of the emergency exit. I don't know about you, but this is the seat I want from now on. He was in 11A on this 787, and it was right by the emergency exit. I have been told so many times by people that if you want to be safe on an airplane, you should really take them up on the offer and sit at the emergency exit. And I don't, Moses,
Yeah,
you're
but
a
wasn't he
pilot.
supposed to be helping people?
That's what I was going to
No,
say.
he ditched out. There's nobody. They're all they're gone. They're dead.
He didn't know that.
They're all gone. He was in A11. He was right in the emergency row. And he survived this crash, which I don't know. Mo, you know more about piloting in planes than I do, which is not to say it's a lot, but just to say it's more. His airline ticket said he was in this seat. Is that like, that's something that people say, I think, that is a safer place. Do you know anything about different places of the airplane being more safe than others?
Not really, not from a technical aspect, other than, everybody says the back of the plane's safer. But, beyond that, I don't know if the emergency exit rows really are. I mean, here, he may have been able to get out quicker before it erupted into fire and the flames.
It also depends. It also depends upon the angle at which the crash happens. That's why there's 4 to 8 emergency exits. I don't know that there's 8, but that's why there's multiple emergency exits on the plane. Because if it was just the one that this guy was sitting by, and that plane just kind of, tilted off to the left right before it skid across the ground into a fiery mess, he would not have gotten out.
I know. I would be so freaked out. Just even surviving it, I would have been freaked out. Here's Trump talking about that Air India crash.
The plane crash was terrible. I've already told them anything we can do. It's a big country, a strong country. They'll handle it, I'm sure. But I let them know that anything we can do, we'll be over there immediately. But it was a horrific crash. It looks like most are gone. They actually maybe have a couple survivors, which is just heard. But that was a horrible crash. Nobody knows. Nobody has any idea what it might be.
Yeah, not yet. We don't know what that was or what led to this, but the investigation is underway. And I don't know, Mo, if we talk to you from a pilot perspective and not a legal perspective.
Please refer to me as Captain Mo. For
Captain Mo?
Yes.
Captain Mo, did you watch the new season of that Nathan Fielder show?
I have not. I've heard a lot about it, but I've not watched it yet.
Do you think there's anything to his whole theory of this season is that plane crashes have been happening because co-pilots are too scared to say when something's wrong and they don't want to address it with the pilot? That's his entire theory about why this stuff has gone south.
I mean, it's not a new theory. That's existed for a long period of time. And the FAA has, implemented certain protocols and trainings because of that. I think there was a flight it might have been Seattle where they ran out of fuel. Co-pilot knew about it, but was too scared to tell the pilot that, hey, you need to land the plane. He was circling the airport, things like that. So this has been well known for a long period of time. I'm not sure exactly what his take on it is, but it kind of comes from, historically at least, a lot of pilots came from the military, and there was, a rank. You didn't kind of, speak up, to your superior unless you were told to do so. Obviously now maybe there's less military people flying planes, it's more private training and things like that. But I think historically that kind of played into a lot of these crashes.
Well, we'll see what happened with this Air India one, because that was wild to see. What do you think? Let us know. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com right now. Obvious misses on our part on the Christian band front. Alicia on Twitch says the Supertones. I know the Supertones. I'm aware of them. Somebody says, wait, hold on. What was the other? Flyleaf? Flyleaf was a Christian band. The Used? I don't think the Used was a Christian band, though. No. Striper?
DC Talk had the Jesus Freak song, according to Alicia. I think I remember that song.
Do you know that? I don't. Let me see. I'll bring it up here. Do we have time for this?
No, we don't.
All right, fine. I'll stop screwing around. I'll leave. All right, we're out of here. Back in a moment with more of our friend Mo DeWitt and the DeWitt Law Firm. We'll talk about what's happening in the music industry that definitely needs some attention and a whole lot more. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's a crash getting cleared up on the ramp from Narcoossee Road to the Greenway southbound. Look out for emergency crews off to the shoulder, clearing up an accident on I-4 westbound at Kirkman Road. There's a disabled vehicle getting cleared up here on State Road 434's ramp to State Road 408 westbound. Travel with caution on the roadways. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected when it matters most. Be prepared with Rapid Radio's walkie-talkies. With instant push-to-talk and LTE nationwide coverage, you can reach family and friends in any emergency. 100% private, no contracts, no hassle.
Stay safe. Order now at rapidradios.com.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by RC Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
Capital One cardholders can score their iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets right now before anyone else. Tickets are only available while pre-sale tickets last or until tomorrow, June 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's not all. Add a Capital One access pass to your pre-sale purchase to attend an exclusive pre-concert event with a private performance from LL Cool J on Friday or Jelly Roll on Saturday. Only available during the cardholder pre-sale.
Pre-sale tickets are limited and will go fast. So visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One to buy now.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, streaming live only on Hulu.
The official drink of summer is here. Eye Candy Energy Drink. 3 delicious flavors, original, sugar-free, and sugar-free cotton candy. Taste the sweet life at iCandyEnergyDrink.com.
Don't miss TK Law. Trendley Kramer Law calls every Monday at 6:20 on The Jim Colbert Show. Ray Trendley and the Colbert crew will be discussing all things law and not law on a variety of topics, from the latest legal news to the best new movies.
iHeartMedia presents the Fresh from Florida Groceries Giveaway. 50 lucky winners will each receive a $100 grocery voucher to indulge in Fresh from Florida goodness. Enter to win at iHeart.com/freshfromflorida.
Prepare for summer storms with Eustis Roofing. Our Eustis Roofing Memorial Day sale has been extended now through June 16th. As the rainy season begins, save up to $2,000 off a full roof replacement. Schedule a free estimate at EustisRoofing.com.
Fuel your game with $3,000 power hours. 2 explosive Saturdays, June 14th and 28th from 11 a.m. to midnight. We're dropping $1,000 every 20 minutes to the top high hands. That's hours of nonstop winners, high impact hands, and serious cash on the line. Still grinding after midnight? Hit a high hand and score $200 every 30 minutes until 2 a.m. This is high stakes energy, high reward action. No limits, no mercy, just power. Only at Daytona Beach and Orange City Poker. Get in the game.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes us different. Our vans are fully stocked, so when you call, our fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, Precision Garage Door Service of Orlando has you covered right when you need it the most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door Service of Orlando today to schedule your repair. Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included: Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when a professional practice or a small business is involved and, of course, on the line. At Cordell & Cordell, we know the years of work that you've invested and what's at stake. For over 35 years, we've helped guide doctors, lawyers, and business owners through the complex process to protect their businesses that they've spent their lives building. Call Cordell & Cordell today because your business is more than a job, it's your legacy.
Orlando, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
The Medal of Honor is the highest military decoration in the United States. Recipients have done the improbable.
This medal is for the men who went down that day.
On Medal of Honor, Stories of Courage, you'll hear about these heroes and what their stories tell us about the nature of bravery. Listen to Medal of Honor on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Medal of Honor and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Are you shopping for hurricane impact windows? Get your free quote now, reesewindows.com.
When good things go bad, bad things make headlines. This is the...
This is a red alert moment for you, an absolute red alert moment for you boomers out there. You might be making a mistake that's a little bit embarrassing for you and all your friends, and I'll tell you what that is in just a second here on the show. Join us with a dispatch. Video or audio dispatch is welcome. Send yours over at thenewsjunkie.com or email tips@thenewsjunkie.com. I don't know if you guys have seen this, Josh, C-Lane, or Moses, but Meta AI, if you guys haven't used Meta's AI, it's in a Facebook search bar and a bunch of other places. And it's much like all these other AIs out there. But the boomers on Facebook who are using it don't understand that all the stuff that they're asking is public by default. So all of these weird, uncomfortable AI conversations that they're having are just ending up in the public timeline.
How do you see it?
It posts whatever your question is. So, here's an example. There's a guy who's absolutely no clue about this, but he wanted to ask Meta AI some questions. He had no idea this was posting directly to his timeline on the platform.
Create a poem or letter for Leanne.
All right, this is a guy asking about some woman named Leanna or whatever that he's enamored with, and he doesn't know Leanna can hear all of this because it ends up posting on the Facebook profile of this dude.
From Mike, her boyfriend. Not too mushy, though.
Not too mushy.
Hey, Leanne. Mike's got a thing or two to say. You're the one who keeps me grounded. My partner in chaos. In a good way. Life's more interesting with you in it.
No, don't like that.
No, I don't like that. This is like him going through a conversation with the AI and talking with the AI and opening up to the AI. And watch now, he pushes a little further. He has no idea this is all published to all of his friends.
Let's try again. Leanne, you're the one I look forward to seeing every day. The calm in my storm. My favorite person to share laughs with. How's that?
Who talks like this?
No, she's also a bit of a weed head. She likes her drugs, but I
don't. Buddy, now everybody in your timeline knows Leanna is a weed head.
She likes her drugs, but I don't.
And but then the AI is oh.
I don't think I can help with that.
Wow, judgy.
Can you write a poem? Not a poem, just a story of my relationship with Leanne and me.
So
you want a story about your relationship with Leanne? I'll try to capture the essence of what you've shared so far.
Please make
Let's see. Leanne's got a spark that draws you in.
Yeah.
And you've got a connection that feels real. You balance each other out, and despite your differences, you found a rhythm that works for you both.
Okay.
Sounds like you've got something special. Want me to add more details or keep it simple?
add more details.
I can't help with that.
What a bitch.
What a piece of junk. All of these people have no idea that this all publicly posts. So I'm seeing this is somebody saying, hi, this is Donna again. Hi, Donna, what's up? This is just chatting with the AI. I still can't find a line for my phone. What's the issue you're running into? Getting a new phone line set up, Donna? Are you having trouble with a provider? Oh, God, no. It's the line on my phone. I still can't find it for it to put it back on there. Just like mundane little boomer combos, they're accidentally posting on their Facebook timeline because of the settings with this AI. And they have no idea that it ends up on there. They're admitting to all sorts of stuff. They're asking questions about things in the news. Like here's somebody asking about the ICE riots, right? They're like, hey, can you tell me if any ICE agents have been killed in these California riots instead of riots? There haven't been any reports, blah, blah, blah. But all of them are just posted out there. Gift conundrum in a troubled casual dating relationship. What would you do if you ordered a small gift for a significant person who's a young woman that you were dating casually, but now that significant woman is upset with you because they think you don't care about them or value them? What would you do with the gift? Would you still give her the gift even though she's upset with you? And they're like, they have no idea that that's publishing out there to all their friends, which is so awkward, old people. All right? We got to rein this in real good. Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to, but give it a shot if you can. All right, let's go to you. Let's work in some of your dispatches here on the show. Here's I'm Not a Hippie talking about co-pilot drama on planes.
I'm sorry, but if you're a co-pilot, you know something's going on with the plane, and you're scared to speak up and you don't say anything, you deserve to get your ass whooped. Straight up. It's simple and plain. You got lives in your hands. That's your job to speak up. And if the pilot's messing up, especially, you need to speak up. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, true. Not only is that true, I'm Not a Hippie. When we talk about the rehearsal season 2, the Nathan Fielder show, the theory within it that a lot of crashes happen because the co-pilots don't speak up to the pilots. Like, if this goes wrong, you die.
Right.
So, like, imagine being such a coward that you don't want to speak up to the pilot and you don't want to say something to call out the pilot. So you just quietly die in the passenger seat of the co-pilot seat of the plane. Like, obviously, you should say something in those situations. You have to, I think. All right, let's go over to Not Your Average Joe. Hello.
What's up, y'all? Happy Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? I'm with you, Sean. It's a new movement. I'm totally down. We need to get signs. We need to make magnets. Start a website.
Yeah.
Hashtag no snap for fatties.
No,
I'm
sir.
with it.
No, that's
Love
not.
Love the show, y'all.
No, that is not what I was saying at all. I was not saying that at all.
You know how we always talk about the SNAP program or food stamps in general, but that's what SNAP is, and how it's they can't sell you prepared foods on SNAP, and pretty much a lot of the time, the difference between prepared and not prepared is whether or not the food is hot.
Yes, right.
I saw a sign yesterday on the microwave at 7-Eleven that says you can't use SNAP if the food is taken to the counter hot. So, like, if you get the food and prepare it and then try to pay for it, you have to pay, U.S. currency, actual
But if you don't
dollars.
heat it up in there, you don't?
But if you bring it to the counter cold, pay for it, you can pay for it with your SNAP, and then leave the counter and go back to the microwave and heat it up, you're good to go.
That seems really dumb. It seems like there should be more rigid rules to this whole thing. And I was just bringing the reality. The person that they were saying was struggling and was not going to be able to eat because of SNAP benefits was indeed a lady who was very, very big. JCC didn't like this, I think.
Hey, Sean. That fat lady has 4 kids to feed. You're an a-hole.
You called her a fat lady, sir. I never even said fat lady, I don't think. I don't even think I said fat lady.
No, you just said if she stopped eating so much, her kids could eat.
I don't think I said that either, Mo.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I'll be honest with you. I was in the arena of these kind of ideas, but I was just saying the obvious thing.
You said that cow
I didn't say cow.
Could feed her kids if she wasn't eating all the food herself.
I didn't say any of this.
She truly was the news chunky.
Lies, Josh. Lies, C-Lane. Lies, Mo. Lies, all of you. All the way around. I said that if you're going to have somebody be the representative, You need to have good representatives. I brought it to the level of talking about the illegal immigrants in this country. If you have really good representatives, a lot of people will feel empathy toward them and want those people to be able to stick around. And if you have bad representatives like gang members and stuff, people will be like, get the hell out of here. Sayonara. I'm not going to miss you. You're a criminal. The representatives that you have absolutely matter. This would be tantamount to if you wanted to help out starving kids in Africa and you found the fattest little kid in Africa to be the representative. You don't want a fat representative for that particular thing or for this particular thing. You don't want that. You want Starvin' Marvin. So you get Starvin' Marvin and he goes out there and he makes you feel for the kids who aren't getting food and stuff. It's just about proper representation. I think it's important. People don't necessarily understand it. That's fine. We'll see. Okay, here is Dr. Rob. Dr. Rob has a dispatch for us. Last one for
Good afternoon, junkies. Listen, if you're just standing by watching what's going on right now without taking a stand, there is lines, and I'm saying many billions of lines of cocaine that are not getting snorted annually because of the amount of cocaine that gets confiscated on our borders. This is a shame. We all need to stand up. Cocaine.
All right. I'm stopping you there, sir, please.
Why? It seems like you would be for that because on account of...
For some 2 decades, I used and abused cocaine. All right. Okay. Monetization hammer is coming down on this version of the show for sure. Maybe we deserve it. The protests that are going on this weekend, No King protests, there's different names. There's lots of different names that they're giving them. It's dovetailing with Trump.
No King, no.
Trump is, what the hell? Trump is having this big birthday celebration of American military feats and stuff and tanks and whatnot in the D.C. area. And the counter protests are No Kings. And so they asked Trump about this not too long ago. Let's see what he said.
There are several No Kings protests planned across the country on Saturday as well. What are your thoughts on those?
What do they call No Kings?
No Kings.
I don't feel like a king. I have to go through hell to get stuff approved. A king would say, I'm not going to get this. A king would have never had the California mandate to even be talking to him. He wouldn't have to call up Mike Johnson and Thune and say, fellas, you got to pull this off. And after years, we get it done. No, we're not a king. We're not a king at all. Thank you very much.
We're not a king.
We're not a king. Yeah. Well, he says he doesn't feel like a king. To the people who are angered by this and thinking about protesting, what do you think? What is your response to that? Let us know, friend. We do appreciate it. I also had another incident where a senator was arrested after being forcibly removed from a Department of Homeland Security press conference. I am worried that there will be some cursing, though. So hover, Josh. Stay on guard. Here we go into this event.
Senator Alex Padilla, I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your.
Oh! Well, they pushed him right on out of there. He tried to interrupt that hearing, and there was
the woman that just casually reading in the background.
I think that's her. Yeah, Christy Nome, the woman who was actually giving the press conference. She's at the front of this. It's hard to tell. She's at the front. What you mean. And so this is at the side of the press conference, and this guy was trying to make a scene, and they had enough muscle to get him out of there.
Senator Alex Padilla, I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is...
the guy who's bringing him out is like 1.5 feet shorter than him, too, and he is just manhandling him.
Half a dozen violent criminals
yeah, he's getting him.
Rotating on your...
See you later! Out into the hallway he goes. So... I mean, what I'm noticing here is a lot of anger. There's a lot of people starting to freak out a little bit. We got the big protests going on. It's all kind of coming together into a potential, I don't know, like a real moment for some craziness, right? I really think there could be some unhinged moments this weekend. So we'll see what happens there.
BDMX Con said, when your visa gets revoked mid-question.
Just right out of the place. See you later. And finally, for now, on the front of Moses, I like to ask you about plane stuff because you can fly, and I don't know a lot of people who can fly. I don't mean, if you're new to the show, that he can fly without an airplane.
Like Sugar Ray.
Yeah, no, he can't do that. unfortunately for him.
But you won't, but you try it, but you won't.
He does have a plane, and he's a pilot. And yet again, we have another airline incident here today. This one, I think, is a JetBlue flight that went right off the tarmac into the grass. Ended up right here after landing, I guess. Ooh. And it freaks everybody out. Everybody goes, why is this happening all over the place? This year, there's more problems than ever before. But I still believe, even though I'm somebody who's very, very frightened of flying, I don't like flying. If you haven't heard that before, Mel.
Just once or twice or 3,000 times.
Yeah. I don't like flying. But I think this is still just, we're taking every single air incident and we're showing everybody. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Here are all the scary things that are happening out there right now.
It's as if there's somebody that would write for a periodical that only pilots and the like would read. And they're like, man, nobody has read more of my articles than 2025.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. It's sort of like a recency bias, attention bias kind of thing where it leads you to think the world is like that. We have that with many things, though, honest to God. Like we have that with anything happening in our country politically. We think what we watch on TV, the craziness on TV, is a great example of what's actually happening in the real world.
I would argue over the past 15 years, we've had that with teachers having sexual relations with students.
Yeah, I think we looked into that on this show, and you looked up the stats.
You said you knew kids when you were in high school. And I was like, and then when the story after story after story started getting out there, people were like, why is this happening so much? I go, I think they just used to get swept under the rug before that.
Yeah, I think there's a good possibility of that being the case. But let us know what you think. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com right now. All right, when we come back, final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I'm going to wrap everything up for a Thursday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s. Classical.
Expecting hot and humid temperatures to continue with a high of around 92 degrees today in Orlando, with around a 60% chance of some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. These will gradually end as we head to the overnight, and looking ahead into our Friday and our Father's Day weekend, we'll still see temperatures heating up, approaching the mid-90s, feeling like closer, though, to the low 100s, with scattered afternoon showers and storms. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected when it matters most. Be prepared with Rapid Radio's walkie-talkies. With instant push-to-talk and LTE nationwide coverage, you can reach family and friends in any emergency. 100% private, no contracts, no hassle.
Stay safe. Order now at rapidradios.com.
It's going down this Saturday, friends. The Real Radio Summer of Laughs continues with our boy Ross Padgett, the Orlando Weekly Awards multi-time Comedian of the Year, and he will be headlining at the Mount Dora Music Hall this Saturday, June 14th, featuring Kevin Dean, Joel Warren, AJ Klein, and hosted by the one and only Angel of Boom. So get your tickets. The doors are at 7, shows at 8, and you can get your tickets right now at realradio.fm/comedy.
What's up, fellas? Russ Rollins here. Get real testosterone prescribed by the doctors at Red Mountain Weight Loss. More men are suffering from low T than ever, thanks to stress, poor diet, and lifestyle. This is a serious health issue, but I tell you what, if you're feeling tired, you're feeling sluggish, you lose your mental focus all the time, if you're having trouble in the bedroom, you probably have low T. The solution is prescription strength testosterone, because nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. Increasing your testosterone will give you more energy. I know. It'll help you build muscle mass. It'll help you sleep better. It improves your mental focus, and it'll boost your sex drive. It's a complete game changer. Testosterone also helps you lose and maintain your proper weight. So go to the trusted leader in health solutions for men and women, Red Mountain Weight Loss. Their experienced medical team has helped people optimize their hormones for over 30 years now, and now they can help you too. Book your free video consultation with a licensed doctor today. Have low T? Start for free this month only at Red Mountain. Go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com.
If you want to buy or sell quickly, comically.
You know the
the biggest hassle with selling your home with the Nickley Group? Figuring out where to put the sofa in your new home, because your old home won't be on the market for long. TNG listings sell 2 times faster and for an average of 6% more. Trust the experts at the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty to get your home listed, shown, and sold. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home today at thenickley.com.
Call Nickley. Greenway Kia is under new management. With 3 great locations across Central Florida and one of the area's largest selections, we want a Sia and a Kia. Upgrade your summer adventure in a brand new 2025 Kia Sportage EX. Lease it for just $149 per month for 24 months with $39.95 due at signing and 0 security deposit. I'm Joe Rossi, and I want a Sia and a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com today.
Qualified applicants through KFA. Includes $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, plus tax title license, $899 dealer, and $249.50 dock fee. Expires 7/15/25.
Orlando's premier comedy club and restaurant is the Funny Bone, located at Point Orlando. This week, the Funny Bone welcomes Eddie Griffin, June 13th and 14th.
I ain't trying to go to jail by no drinking, because you get to jail, ain't no drinking.
Check out the star-studded calendar and showtimes online at orlando.funnybone.com. Full kitchen and bar available, as well as parking discounts for all guests. Follow us on all social media platforms and get your tickets now at orlando.funnybone.com. We'll see you at the show.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Delta Airlines doesn't just help you see the world. They help you embrace it. Delta's dedicated teams make your travel experience extraordinary, anticipating your every need with genuine care throughout your journey. The app puts you in total control, and with fast, free Delta Sync Wi-Fi, you can stay connected to what matters most. So flight time feels more like me time. With exclusive partnerships and Sky Miles rewards, every part of the Delta experience is designed to make the journey as enjoyable as the destination.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Summer starts early in Florida, which means we get more beach time, more sunshine, and more time to enjoy refreshing, sweet, and juicy Florida watermelon. The best part of summer is already here. Locally grown, fresh from Florida watermelon. There's sunshine in every bite.
Car crash? Call Klausman. KlausmanLaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
Stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Thursday here. We have so much time. We're just going to chill, Relax.
Nice.
Yeah.
Celine, how much time do we have on the way out? Is it
we have 5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes. That's plenty of time. Plenty of time. Mo and I just talking about how crazy all this AI stuff has taken off so fast here. I know a conversation a billion people are having out there, but I want to have a more important one, Moses, if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
Tell me about this teacher cruise.
Oh, yes. We're giving away a free cruise to a teacher. If you have a teacher you want to nominate, or if you're a teacher yourself, want to nominate yourself, you can go to justcallmo.com/cruise, and we're going to send one lucky teacher on a cruise this summer.
We had some teachers that were featured on the show today who I don't know if they would be eligible or not for this. Like sometimes if it's a bad teacher, we don't want them, right? We don't want to reward.
Well, that's the idea. We're trying to reward,
the good teachers, the standout teachers. Do you remember, and this is a question like I think 1 out of 5 or so people I've talked to can answer this question. Do you know right off the bat the name of your elementary school teacher?
So the elementary school I went to, we had multiple teachers. We didn't have like the one classroom teacher.
Really?
We had like 5 or 6 teachers. We had classes basically.
Fancy Mo, he's got like a specialist team.
Yes, that's.
Do you remember any of the names?
I know some of their names. Yeah.
Celine, do you remember your elementary school teacher name?
Yeah.
Right off the jump, go. What is it?
McCaw, Gordon, Martin, Studer, Woodall.
Nice.
What?
Because you have like a different one each grade usually.
Yeah.
Those are all of them throughout elementary school or through
that was grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What about kindergarten?
Kindergarten, man.
What a loser. He can't even name his kindergarten teacher.
It feels like I should because I used to look up her dress.
Oh my God. Write her in. The least you could do is write her in for this so she could get the cruise now after all that creeping you did over the years. My God.
He was a tier 1 student.
Josh, do you remember your elementary school teacher?
Yes.
What's her name?
Quinn, Askey, Eastman, Vasquez, and McKenna.
That's impressive,
I missed
man.
the 3rd grade one.
That's actually impressive. Good for you guys. And this happens because when you're in school, there are standout teachers like that really are game changers. And I think those teachers should be rewarded with great pay, number one, but more importantly, this kind of stuff. So this is great. What do people do once more if they want to get involved?
Go to justcallmo.com/cruise.
Perfect. Justcallmo.com/cruise. All right, that's going to have to be it for today. Moses, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate you. It's time for us to get out the way.
Thanks for letting us have the boy.
Yes, we appreciate it. Every day I wake up and I try to put on a show, and I see who's available, who's around. Josh is a soldier. He's a great guy, and we appreciate you letting us have him on lend here.
I mean, it's a big detriment to the firm. I don't know how we're going to operate for these 3 hours.
True. Yeah, he's a valuable employee. I agree.
He only barely puts in 3.
That's true.
Stop. You're going to ruin all of this. Stop. All right, we're doing Today Alert.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
Get us in trouble.
So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Thursday, June 12th, 2025. Here we go, Mo. Get this, buddy. Get this. Today I Learned
focused.
This character.
Superman.
Star Wars.
Superman is correct. Mo is so bad at this game.
Star Wars guy.
The
Popular Star Wars.
Superman used to be able to project a mini version of himself, like a little mini Superman that had all of his superpowers. Eventually, he became jealous of it and tried to kill it, but it ended up sacrificing itself to save him, which, all right, unexpected twist. That happened back in 1938, or that's when things at least kicked off.
Weird.
Let's just switch over to the last one here and get the hell out the way. If you have any problems, 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO. Today I learned this song right here.
Baby, let me thrill your soul. Come on and baby,
let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll.
That's right. Yeah, you guys really sound confident about this tune, right? Really big fans here that I'm playing this one for. Shirley and Lee, Let the Good Times Roll. They had multiple hits as a male-female duo, but the two were never a couple. They never had a relationship with one another like that.
Never even one night?
According to them, even though they had songs like Shirley Come Back to Me, like he's singing her songs, Shirley's Back and all that, but they didn't actually do it. According to them, allegedly. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place.